I'm triggered.
And she's a primitive still. There she is. There she is.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone. Hello and welcome to Indefinite Lunch in Infinite Combinations number 148, where we're exploring all of the Twilight Zone. Today we're taking a closer look at the episodes The Chaser and A Passage for Trumpet. These are episodes 31, 32. We're finally getting pretty close to the end of season 1, so this is a lot of fun. And we have 5 seasons of the Twilight Zone, so we have plenty more to go. I'm very excited that in the first episode we have a demon, and in the second episode we have an angel. And so I think this is a great pairing of episodes, and both really well written stories, great characters. So let's get going. Oh, Henry, says Gavin Blackburn. Scotty says that a lot, but I still need to see this Oh Henry story so I can understand what the hell he's talking about.
Well, but this is I think that these 2 episodes are be careful what you wish for episodes, which it's interesting to see them back to back, because this is the first time that it's like, oh, this is what you want. And the same sort of thing happened with, the guy in the casino. But this is, I do cautionary tales. I enjoy cautionary tale. I am myself a cautionary tale.
Oh, and that's how you recognize them. So this is going to be a lot of fun going through both of these. First, we have FKHC 2005, who says, A Passage for Trumpet. That episode is going to blow.
Blow, Gabriel, blow.
Yeah, that's cute. And Gavin, I was a little late. Sorry, Gavin. So
I think that's
the first episode. Where is everybody?
First episode. Yeah.
Greek Les in the house.
What?
I'm all alone in the chat, and I just dropped my glasses. It's not fair.
Sometimes I go to the drive-through ATM, and I notice that there is Braille and a headphone set for the visually impaired. And I'm like, how did you drive your vehicle to get to the Braille pad at the drive-through? Confuses me every time. The bus doesn't go through the drive-through at the ATM.
They don't. The bus doesn't drop you off at the ATM. You do have to walk to it from the bus stop to the ATM.
Right, but there's a kiosk for that. Why would you, if you're blind and you need a headset, how did you drive your car to the visually impaired?
They walked from the bus
outside. Stop. It's a drive-through. I can't order McNuggets at the McDonald's drive-through. I have to go inside. Anyway, tangent.
I tried that at a Wendy's once. It didn't work out because I live right near one, and I walked over. They won't serve you if you walk on foot.
Nope.
I guess that's true. Oh, it's like a drive-through. Okay, I get what you're saying now. It's not inside the bank. It's on the. It's okay. I get it now. I know what a kiosk is. We just call it a drive-through.
Ah, there's time enough at last. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. There was time now.
Oh,
Burgess Meredith.
My favorite episode.
That makes me too sad. I have to go back up here.
No, dear, it was just that you said a husband of mine. Well, how many husbands have you got? You've only got me.
I would appreciate that not being rubbed in.
Okay, that one made me feel a little better.
Yo, Rock, catch this chicken.
Okay. And so, hey, Greek Letters Larson says, so let's get going. What are you talking about? You just started? Now you're going? 'Tis not right.
Well, we're out of time, everybody.
Their cars have feelers. Out of time, we haven't even started. They're seeing iDog drives.
Yes. That checks out. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
See you later.
Well,
It's
they can
Gene
take public
Wilder and
transportation.
Richard Pryor.
They'd have to go inside the bank.
Well, yeah.
We have no time for this, Marty. Yeah, I know. I am just messing around. Where are we? I'm still drinking a little coffee here. Canadian Spider-Man. I promise we'll start in a second.
Spidey. No, this is interesting.
Okay, show's over, folks. We're out of time. Tune in next week for the rest of the stream. Okay, here we are.
That's how we do it.
Okay.
We do the intros a week in advance, and it's anticipation.
I wanted to draw it out a little longer.
As do I. I never expect it to end.
Scotty got a contact high from me. I smoked my pipe.
Oh, so did I. Okay, I feel good now. The Chaser. So our first episode today is The Chaser. It first aired on May 13th, 1960, and it was directed by Douglas Hayes. And the episode has a story by credit by John Henry Collier, with the teleplay by Robert Presnell Jr. And so this is the only episode in season 1 that was not written by one of the big 3 writers of the series, Rod Serling, Charles Beaumont, or Richard Matheson. So that is
notable.
Yes. So they're finally opening things up.
Wait. Sorry. Before we get into it.
Oh, stop the presses.
Stop.
We've got to fix. We've got to fix something. Thank you, Greek Letters Larson. I have forgotten.
Don't forget that this show is brought to you by viewers like you.
The chat.
Yeah.
The chat. The show would be lesser without the chat. And reminding me to do very important things.
People say, why don't you pay attention to the chat? And I agree, because the chat does half the job. Well, actually, it does like 10% of the job, but you want to blow up their skirts.
Yeah, well, percentages you can fuss around with them.
I keyed.
There it is. There's the poll.
There we go. Let's go dancing.
I haven't tried that before.
Pole dancing? Oh, you got to do it. It's the best.
Yeah.
Well, I hear it's good cardio.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Pole dancing, I'd break a hip.
Oh no, I'm still rather live. I know there is already a Canadian Spider-Man, but I can totally pole dance. Anyway, moving on before I get into my other careers.
Actually, there is a... Oh, wait, no, the poll's in the next episode. Let's worry about this.
All right.
There's a funny line at the payphone booth because there's a person hogging the phone trying to make a call apparently to no one. And because you can hear the dial tone be, nobody's answering. Nobody's answering his phone call. This is his 5th time trying. And apparently he's not even talking. He's just dialing. And we get an answer why from Serling. And that's when we get our opening narration to this episode. So I love these opening narrations. They really set up the story. Well.
Okay, we're 10 minutes in. And so now is the time when we usually decide who's going to read what intro and outro. So what is up for grabs with these 2 episodes? And it's mild spoilers, but whatever. Which one would you guys prefer? The disaffected sexual predator or the alcoholic, the suicidal alcoholic? Because I'm okay with either. Which one? Maybe I should kick it off because I'll do it. I'll go first.
Go ahead. I'll read the closing.
Sounds good.
And then y'all can share the next episode.
That works.
Okay. Mr. Roger Shackelforth, age, youthful 20s. Occupation, being in love. Not just in love, but madly, passionately, illogically, miserably, all-consumingly in love with a young woman named Layla. Leela? Who has a vague recollection of his face, and even less than a passing interest. In a moment, you will see a switch, because Mr. Shackelforth, a young gentleman so much in love, will take a short but very meaningful journey into the Twilight Zone.
It's Layla. And yes, it is.
You got me on my knees.
Overly passionate. This lady here, I don't know who she is, but she makes a joke and she's so happy with herself. I like the look on her face. Her expression is better than the joke. Here's Roger Shackelforth. Let's see. Who is this guy?
I don't know. I don't have any recollection of this actor having seen him anywhere else. In fact, I thought he was the senior Cassidy, David Cassidy's father in the thumbnail, but no, it's not. This is by definition a 1950s square. He is behind the times. I don't know what he does for a living because his occupation is being in love.
Right. Oh yeah, they don't talk about his actual life.
No.
I'm sure he does something to live because he has a nice place.
He can afford to get married in 1960. Yeah. So that's a feather in your cap.
When I asked who Roger is, I meant who the actor is. He's played by George Grizzard. George Grizzard.
I thought George Grizzard was I thought he was a demon or Damon.
This is his name. His name is Roger. Roger unless this is no. The other one is George McIntyre is the Professor Damon.
Oh, that's George McIntyre. He got top billing though.
Yeah.
Huh, good for him.
Well, Roger
in the episode. Yeah.
But let's start with Roger. Roger is played by George Grizzard.
Yeah.
And he apparently won a Grammy and an Emmy and a Tony. So I should know something about him, right? But I don't because
a Grammy, an Emmy, and a Tony.
Yeah.
All he needed was an Oscar, and he would have had an EGOT.
Oh, is that a thing? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a very few people have an Emmy, Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. It's an EGOT. A couple people do. I think Whoopi Goldberg does. I think Adele, maybe. I don't know.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is why he got the Grammy. Wait. Huh?
Oh, the stage play? Because back then they used to, press the soundtracks. They still do.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, I get it now. I was so confused, but that makes sense. In a stage play, you sing a lot.
Yeah.
Why am I being stupid this morning? That makes so sense.
Yeah, you're fine. Good for him.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he did lots of other stuff here too.
He has that familiar face.
He kind of looks, he kind of looks like Bobby Darin.
You got a little of that going on there, yeah.
Well, there we go. There's George Grizzard, and he's making as Roger Shackelforth, and he's making that phone call. His the last guy in line who just showed up at the parlor or whatever this place is, pays everybody $1 to get up the line, except for the last lady. Says, "I'm first in line. I deserve $2." So he pays $4 to get in the front of the line. And finally, Layla answers the phone.
You got me on my knees, Layla.
Yeah, as soon as she realizes that it is Roger, she's instantly displeased is the correct word. He's so happy, but she already has chocolates from some other admirer, so what does she need Roger for? I don't know. I have no idea why she doesn't like him exactly, but she doesn't, and it's very, very clear.
Here's what I surmised.
Why don't you take a flying jump at the moon? Whenever he is what she says, whenever he says, "Why don't you tell me anything, say anything?" Because she's going to hang up on him, and then she does.
But, okay. What is Layla doing?
Chilling in bed.
Right. But she has presence from a suitor. She answers the phone in anticipation of who she thinks is going to follow the box of bonbons. And then it ends up being this chuckle monkey. So she's like, "Oh, I thought it was going to be Steve. Yes. I thought Jerry was calling." No, it's Roger.
Oh, that makes sense. He must have sent the chocolates anonymously. You're totally right.
Roger?
Roger. Yeah. That would make sense.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he did. I think Layla's a very popular lady. I think she's waiting for someone she actually cares about.
That's what I thought at first, but the way you're framing it just now made me think that.
Well, he's the one calling, and so she's there would have been a card with the bonbons, wouldn't there?
He's obsessed.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Some people send, secret admirer things. This is a creepy room. I love it. It's so scary. Is this the introduction of the scary door before we get it?
Yeah, as he heads off to see Professor Snape. I'm just
Yeah, basically. No, you're not wrong. Professor Snape is exactly who he visits.
Where did I read this?
Because he's Professor Damon. Obviously making you want to think of the word demon, and I'm sure maybe people will tell us the origin of Damon in the chat.
It's a rank in the Ferengi Alliance.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, fair enough. And yes, Professor Snape for your Harry Potter fans out there, because he's a professor and he's also a chemist. But also he loves to read too. Lots of great books here.
I do have a quote from a book.
Please.
I think it's a book. In Serling, The Rise and Twilight of Television's Last Angry Man, the episode's director, Douglas Hayes, said, "That was one of the great things about the Twilight Zone. I had total freedom. Sometimes I would think of an idea that would make the episode more Twilight Zone-y, but that would require some expense. I remember one episode, The Chaser, in which I devised a huge bookcase that must have doubled the budget, but Serling and producer Buck Houghton never blinked an eye. They just said, okay, great. I didn't have to argue with anybody over the money. They'd argue about the money and let me have it. I knew that they were having problems with Jim Aubrey, but they kept them away from me. My responsibility was to get the job done." And I like that. I like that collaborative effort between director and producer and writer. Hey,
yes,
Booger.
Me too. Oh, hey. Yeah, I love that effort too. The set is perfect. It's so wonderful. And this is the heart of the story.
It's the Criterion closet.
You're not just pulling my legs. How many hundreds of times have people said that, Jedi Master? I can't really you can't just pull that on me in the middle of the show. What are you doing to me? Okay. My God. I've just been discombobulated by my panel here. But
for anyone who wants to know what the inside baseball is, and I don't know why you wouldn't say this out loud, but is this, and I don't know if this is for real, but it makes sense that we would be in the room that gives you not only the love potion, but also the glove cleaner. Is it possible that Kathleen Kennedy has been fired?
Is it possible? Well, this is what I mean. Did I want my live stream even to just become about that either? But no, that's okay. If you're gonna drop breaking news in my
chat, it just dropped on me. I just got it dropped on me. A notification popped off, and Nerdrotic is usually not wrong. Gary?
Oh no, he's often wrong.
He is.
Oh,
on this one, but it says it's breaking news. She was fired.
No, I'm going to go. I'm going to. You know what? I'm sorry I brought it up. I love this book area.
Yep.
I love this book area too. That's what I'm.
It is nice.
Up to. No, but I brought it up. I brought it up first.
Which one? The book?
I guess, guys, you'll have to go and find out more about that later. I'm sorry to veer off into the sunset off a cliff off of this live stream. I want to come back to this small room filled with books. Let's go back to the 1960s. Yes. Come back to the 60s.
You know what? It's not often that I agree with Sig Balduson in this regard, but I would say, yes, I would wait until our Eldritch God gives us the news. I agree.
Yeah, me too.
Because
yeah, I doubt it too. I doubt it too. Anything is possible, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
That's right. I agree completely with Sig Balduson also. Let's see what Doomcock has to say. I will be waiting for that. Anyway.
Are you sure you don't want the glove cleaners?
Before we get into what's happening in this room, I forgot to mention how he got here. The man who needed the phone gives him a card to go to this location.
How do you think that guy got the card? I think that because he was an affluent man who was throwing around money. I think he went to Professor Damon Togg for the glove cleaner. Oh, you want to kill someone, do you? Because that's the first thing that Professor says. Oh, you want the glove cleaner, do you?
Yes. Yeah, that's right. And the glove cleaner, of course. We'll talk about that. This is a very... I love... Yeah. So, let's see, where is this? There's a lot of stuff here. Oh, yeah, you talked about the bookcases for me.
Yeah, no, I think that this is absolutely adorable.
I love the dialogue here. The dialogue is good. I want the dialogue for this portion.
Well, while you're posting it in the private chat for a dramatic reading.
Yeah, sometime this year. I don't care. I guess I don't care. Yeah.
I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about the retail space that you would have to have. And while it is eerie and absolutely beautifully designed, can you imagine all of the storage space that you would be sacrificing just for that giant black room? So that there was a singularly lit door that went into an even narrower but taller chamber. I think that this would be an amazing video store. This is the Criterion Closet.
It is. It's a dark and creepy room. It almost is uninviting.
Really? Do you find it? Well, I guess it is supposed to be imposing. I love a room that has ladders on wheels.
No, I love the actual library room. I mean, the room to get to this room is creepy.
And
creepy. Yeah. It's like he's leaving going to a void or somewhere, like a dimensional type thing, possibly.
Yeah, he walked right into the Twilight Zone, and that's beautiful. I didn't know that was all the director's idea. Are these stacks of books from this episode that we were talking about earlier? Like,
and the year after that.
I don't know. I don't know. Probably not. But I just have those at hand, and I just wanted to see more books. And so there we are. But so then the professor says, "Stop skulking around," because he was just looking around.
I wasn't skulking. I just didn't know if
common enough disease, not knowing if. I thought that was funny. That's just a funny line.
Oh, I think the banter from Damon Togg is great.
Roger tries to explain that he doesn't know why he's here. He was just given this card. So Professor Damon explains ointment, salves, powders, sovereign remedies, nectars, lotus blossoms, toxins, tonics, antitoxins.
Love that.
Decoctions, concoctions, and potions. And I feel like we're talking about Fear and Loathing again.
I know, right?
But also, like Jedi Master said, Professor Damon grills him about what he wants until he discovers that Roger is just in love, and this severely disappoints the professor.
Well, but not only that, but like he says, what can I get you? Success? And he's like, no, I don't need that. So he feels he's successful. Well,
he already has it all. He has it all except for love.
Well, no, it isn't love. It's possessive love. Because even Professor Damon says, "Oh, like a good cocker spaniel."
Yes, I have the whole quote. Please read it.
What? Okay, sure. Where is it? When she isn't telling you she loves you, she'll be gazing at you lovingly. She won't even eat before you do, and nothing will be too much for you to ask of her. She'll worship you. She'll beg you for kisses and weep for joy at your touch. And if in passing time, you should perhaps look at another girl or even do a little more than look. She'll feel hurt, but she'll forgive you and love you just the same. Frankly, you'd get the same shake from a cocker spaniel. And you know what?
Yes,
this guy is Harry Mudd if the Venus drug worked.
If it actually was real, if it wasn't a placebo kind of thing. Dang. Well, and I'm so glad you mentioned Harry Potter, because the love potions in Harry Potter are also not true love. It's also just infatuation, lust that it provides, and that's exactly what's going on here also. And anything that's born from it is not from love. So I'm wondering if maybe, that kid. Well, wait, never mind. I'm jumping the gun a little bit.
Don't jump guns.
I just got a little excited there, but hearing that she'd be so excessive with her affection to be in competition with the Cocker Spaniel, that idea should just scare Roger off the potion, because who wants that? He thinks he wants that.
See, but this is interesting, is because it's kind of a weird thing. This part of the episode reminded me of sort of, like, I have Instagram. I go through Instagram. I don't really post. I just scroll through the app. And I get ads from, like, OnlyFans girls. And I go on them from time to time. But it's like carnival barkers for boobs. And it's like, oh, do you want to put together a Lego set of the Millennium Falcon? I'll be topless. And it's like, oh my stars. Is this what you want from a partner? You just a vessel for pleasure. And this is what you're being sold. And that's why I like you guys keep talking about Snape. I'm like, what if Dumbledore shaved? And it's like, this guy is telling you, it's like your desires, your carnal, like what you don't work for. We have it. We have it all. The Candyman can. But do you have any idea what you're in for? And that's why I like this idea of the episode and how it progresses, is that it's like, be careful what you wish for. But there are darker elements that I'll get to when we get to them.
First, do you know anything about George McIntyre?
I do not. He looks familiar, but I think that he was like, I don't know anything about him.
Me neither.
See, Booger gets
it. Find anything.
As long as it doesn't come with a minifig of Ray. No, I want the minifig. Hashtag buy me a She-Hulk.
Well, maybe I
turning me to the
it.
dark side.
Well, I have my affections.
I like him a lot. He's really great in this.
He's charismatic. He's fantastic.
He is. And so he offers him a glove cleaner, which it sounds like it helps you get away with murder, which is and it's way more expensive. It costs $1,000, whereas the love potion only costs $1.
Well, no, but the thing is that I don't think it costs $1,000, because there's a line later on in the show where he's like, $1,000, but that's my life savings. And I don't know what the inflation rate, the difference is between 1960 and 2025. But Blind Neil, hey, Blind Neil. Blind Neil's highlight says, coming or going, lurking or chatting. Please remember to tap the like. It's free and easy to do. Thank you. And thank you.
Thank you.
But the thing, I think that anytime, because if this guy is a demon, I think anytime someone wants the glove cleaner, it's $400, it's $1,000, it's $1,700.
Just however much they have in total.
Yeah.
Because 1,000. You asked the question, I'll answer it. For inflation, just for inflation, $1,000 is $10,914.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
I do have $1.
Chuckle Monkey, great Scott. No, wait, wrong phrase. He might take that as a compliment.
Oh, I am great. You are great. I am great.
Yes. Anything is possible, but I doubt it. Oh, yeah, right.
We've been remiss with the clips.
Well, right. Oh, if you want to play that, please do. Damon Tag sounds like a Ferengi. Yes. All sorts of things one would want from a library. Yeah, right. I've been to lots of libraries. They never have those kinds of things. Rumor has it that the Fear and Loathing stream is still ongoing. You mean lust. There was no chance for love. Well, I meant on the male side. I meant on, like, Roger might have thought he was in love, but clearly he wasn't. He should have asked for success. And that would be the magnet to attract women. So that guy asking for love was a moron and short-sighted. Yeah, Sigvaldison, you're right. He didn't think he needed it. He thought everything else would fall into place if he had her. Plus, it would have been better to ask for the ability to push the button and really start Eldritch God. Yes, okay. Oh, right. Yeah, we should have played that.
Yippee!
Oh, how about the You're Great? I'm great.
I know, but I don't know. I'm trying to shuffle through. Oh, here we go.
Tear loves Tiva. Repeat. Tear loves Tiva. Repeat.
Yeah.
You are great. I am great.
And if you're confused, the spot cleaner absolutely is is for getting rid of the evidence of murder, because it says in the original story, because the original story comes from John Collier, and it was written and aired live on TV on the Billy Rose Television Theater in 1951. And so there's some dialogue that says the spot remover is quite imperceptible to any known method of autopsy. But all of this talk doesn't make any sense to Roger. He says, "I don't think you're making any sense." And
I
Professor
wish
Damon
that
says,
I wish that in this adaptation, it had still been called spot remover, because the glove cleaner is an even
the glove cleaner was confusing.
Yeah, it was out of date for the episode.
Glove cleaner, yeah, that is.
I think it was meant to be confusing, though. Maybe it was meant to be kind of mysterious. So you're like, what is that? But I still understand what it is. Roger says, "I don't think you're making any sense." And Professor Damon says, "My boy, that's all I make, which is why I'm such a lonely man."
Yeah.
Which I love. It's such a cute pun. It's adorable.
See, the glove cleaner, to me, and because I was hoping, because I like Professor Damon so much in him, I'm like, I hope he's not actually advocating like poison. So I was thinking,
oh no, he's a bad guy.
I was thinking it was going to be dealing with the repercussions of having drugged the woman you love, or who doesn't love you. Like, we may be able to solve unrequited, but if you get tired of the constant adulation, we can take away that. And that costs way more. It wasn't murder. It was all or nothing. She loves you all the way, or you go back to the way it was before, and then you have to deal with it.
I would prefer that. That would be
that's a good analysis
story.
That's what I had. But the end of the episode happens, and Roger laments and says, "I never would have been able to do it anyway."
Well, what happens here isn't like Harry Potter. This is where the deviation happens, because with the love potions, they wear off, and you go back to normal. The Chapman wears off, or the potion wears off. In this case, the potion never wears off. So that's the important thing to understand. And Roger doesn't understand this. He doesn't understand anything. He's just obsessed. He's obsessed. And so he thinks that he's going to be the happiest man in the world. And the thing is, the professor slides into the quote knowing exactly that Roger was going to say that, because he's seen this happen lots of times. He must sell lots of these love potions. And in the original story, this interaction was the whole story. So I would like to actually go and watch that to see how it's different, how it tells the whole story with it just being in this room or whatever room they talk, however the story looks like. Probably in the original story, it looks like any apothecary. So I love that this just looks like a library. And She-Hulk piloting the Falcon on OnlyFans is what Scotty wants. Why did I read that? I'm sorry.
I don't know. That's just an image I don't need to see.
That's funny. Spot cleaner is for getting rid of Data's cat. Oh no! No,
that's terrible.
No. Yeah, that is terrible. We have to fix that.
Spot. I am very happy to see you, Spot.
There it is. There's that love potion. He's going to take that. And we got somebody new in the chat. Who is it? Oh, FKHC 2005 is back. Yay.
Welcome
back.
So
here's our Layla. She's answering the door in her nightgown. And she's trying to shoo Roger away. But he has flowers. And he also has champagne. But it's very clear that she's not into him at all. 0% into him. But she accepts his gifts begrudgingly, but she's going to shoo him out the second she can. She's just going to, enjoy the champagne and kick him out. She just drinks it all as fast as possible. Of course, we know what Roger did. He spiked her drink with the love potion.
Roofeater.
Yeah, exactly like as Scotty had been saying previously, that he's drugging her. We don't have to euphemize it. He doesn't like him, and he is physically manipulating her mentality in order to make her like him, which is essentially,
chemically induced.
Completely changing her brain. Love potion number 9, says FKHC 2005. And it's really disturbing, actually, the way this love potion it is enacted, because part of her is still there as it is taking hold. Because it's disturbing, because she takes off her shawl and she says, "What's happening?" As if she knows the way she says it is as if she knows what she's doing isn't the real her. She can feel herself changing. She's aware that she's not herself, but she can't control it. I'm wondering if she's just as trapped as he is, and she has no control over her body, but somewhere deep down, she's screaming inside at the terror at what she's doing, like for the rest of her life. I don't know if anybody ever caught up on that, but what if she's still deep down herself, but she can't do anything about it. She's just become, as I said before, a Cocker Spaniel to Roger, but she doesn't want to do it either. This is freaky. It's terrifying. Like being aware of what your body's doing and not being able to control it, like those people who are actually awake during surgery.
Possessed.
Yeah, possessed. She is possessed. It feels like it to me anyway. Unless, I don't know if her subconscious eventually aligns with what the love potion did to her.
That's a good twist. A good thought.
Well, did you ever see the movie Love Potion number 9 starring Tate Donovan and Sandra Bullock?
Tell me about it.
Well, it's basically this. Well, okay, it's not this. You'd actually like it, Jill. It's about science. So they figure out a love potion, but instead of putting it in someone else's drink, it turns into a breath spray. And so if you talk to the person that you want to enamor, they become orally, AURALLY. Like the sound of your voice makes them fall in love with you because it does something to your vocal cords. And it's all about that. It's all about, oh no, what if you could make someone fall in love with you? And then what are the repercussions of having that level of adoration? Now, I like that, and the only reason, because I'm glad I left during the Cosby part, I like that she actually has to, of her own free will. Well, no, it's after the spiking of the drink. So it may not be her own free will.
No, there's no free will here. In fact, I was talking about how she's probably out of control the rest of her life.
Yes. Yeah. So this guy's a villain of the nth degree.
He really is. When you look at it, breaks it down. It's like he drugged her and raped her. Not trying to say he, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you can't say that, man. We have to edit that out.
Willingly.
You can say Cosby all the live long day.
It's a slow Cosby.
Is that like a slow gin fizz? Moving on.
That's a South Park comment. A slow Cosby.
FKHC 2005 says, I need to have watch parties on Cosby. I don't like to talk over TV, and I would die. I would die if I did watch parties. I can't. I would hate myself. So you got to watch the episode yourself beforehand. It's like a book club. My shows are like a book club, and this is my book report. And of course, this love, it starts slow. This false love. It's fake love. It's a
Diddy
love
party.
potion. It is a Diddy party. Yes.
Diddy.
And so she at first she gives him a pity kiss, and then she gives him a real kiss, and then
she
when the
drops
potion
her.
begins,
Then she starts taking off her clothes.
yeah, and they start making out. It's disturbing. It's just, and then, of course, it just intensifies, and then we cut to 6 months later.
It never says 6 months later. You gotta wait. You gotta wait to find that out.
Yeah, right. At first, it doesn't say it at first, but they eventually do. So I'm just skipping things around.
I love the establishment.
He's just trying to read a book.
Yeah, but I love the establishment that it looks like it's like it doesn't. We haven't established what Roger does for work, but it looks like he's reading like some sort of textbook. It doesn't look like he's reading for pleasure. Like he's wearing a tie. He's in his element. He's confident. We've never seen that before with Roger. Smoking jacket, like all of this stuff. But it looks like he's reading. Well, maybe his feet are up. I don't know. Like, what is he obviously has $10,000 of savings. But like, what do you think he does? This is his place. They're married.
Right? Correct. It's just, yeah, they're married because Layla calls him her husband. They've been married for 6 months. She won't even let him read. She's waiting on him hand and foot, and literally feet. She's like offering to get him slippers, but they make his feet hot. So she offers to rub his feet with her hands that she's going to dip in cold water.
Yeah,
I've been married for 13 going on 14 years, and I've never rubbed my husband's feet. I don't even like.
Does he rub yours?
She's completely overbearing, and he never thinks to ask her to give him a break.
I thought, you know what? That was I thought you were going to start with a different word that started with a B.
Well, she'll do that, I'm sure.
You know what? It would keep her quiet. It would keep her quiet.
His dark path we're going down.
Patty, this is supposed to be family television. And
sure. It is a Tuesday, but it's Wednesday.
I don't know. Like, what time slot did they put the Twilight Zone? It had to be after the kids went to bed, but still early enough that you still had to, you can't do that.
It is an interesting.
Wow.
Well, but that's implied. That's the punchline of the entire episode, is that the bow chicka wow wow. He got bored of all of that, and he's just trying to read a book. So Layla is there. It's everything he always wanted. Hot and cold running sex all the time if you want it. And the thing is that he is now tired of the gymnastics. It's over. I don't want to play tennis anymore. And can I just read my book? And then he says, I have to go out and find out how to fix this. Like, this is an embarrassment of riches.
But I don't understand why he can't just tell her, what would make me super happy is that for you to take up a hobby that takes 3 to 5 hours of your day at least,
and
doing something else away from
it's
me.
Rubbing your back. Yumming down on your bikini area. I do that 3 to 4 hours every day.
That is too much, but it's too much. There's such thing as too much love and affection and attention.
As Queen said.
It is driving him insane.
Too much love will kill you. Just the same as none at all.
Every time.
He's getting more than he asked. He wanted her to love him and be interested, but not like the guy warned him.
He did.
But also
warned him.
Does she really love him that much if she doesn't know that he prefers cigarettes?
Yeah, I know. So then she's like, I should keep some over there next to you. Her entire life is way too much into, like, that is just way too much insanity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is. This episode is way darker than it appears. And I think we've done a very good job at explaining that. Go ahead.
I think the writers really kept that in mind when they put this when they wrote this, the way to make it send a real true message. Be careful what you wish for. You might get it then and then some. If you're especially forcing someone using chemically induced love to get what you want, I mean, to do that, it's almost like a warning label, like when you're in a bar, be careful with your drink.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. That was something that you always have to watch out for in life. FKHC 2005 says, and demonetized.
Monetized.
You know what?
Hopefully not. Hopefully
I
not.
don't think so.
I think Scotty used enough of a euphemism, because I've asked him to use euphemisms before, and he just barely got away with that one.
And I'm capable of the obvious.
Yes. So he does, like he said, go back and try to fix this. So let's.
So Dumbledore says.
Dumbledore. Okay, we're to Dumbledore.
He looks like Michael Gambon.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what he says.
Do you want me to do it? Because I do a really good Gambon.
Okay, then Jedi Master, can you be Roger?
Sure.
Almost there. One more line.
All right.
Sorry, go for it.
Waiting on the teleprompter.
Okay, where are we stuck?
I'll start. And it's just, we start at Professor Damon, one thing. So,
okay.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. One thing I must caution you about. You must use it immediately, hear me? And you must use it all.
Why? Will it spoil?
No, but you will. Once you delay, you are lost. If you fail the first time you try to use it, you'll never have the courage to use it again. Never.
Goodbye, Professor.
Farewell. And then Roger leaves. Always the same way. First the stimulant, then the chaser, and then the Cosby sweater.
My goodness, I loved the sound effects, Scotty. Great job with the footsteps. I'm thrilled.
I editorialized, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm okay with that.
Still can't get past the Cosby sweater.
Oh, no. It breaks my heart, because I used to watch that show when I was a little kid.
Oh,
and I enjoyed it.
It does. It does.
Well, speaking of blind people, look on the plus side. Bill Cosby can never watch the Cosby Show because, blind.
He went blind? When did I didn't
know
that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, and so we come full circle 6 months later. He comes back with flowers and champagne, just like the way that he poisoned her the first time, to poison her again.
But this time, to death.
But this time, instead of manipulating her mind, as Scotty says, he's going to kill her.
And again, I'm still okay with it. That it is the glove cleaner washes away the previous potion. I'm still okay with it. I still think it fits with the narrative of the episode. Because what does Layla reveal?
Layla reveals he feels the champagne glass with the poison, just like before. But she ends up surprising him that she's pregnant with the little booty that she is knitting, and this shocks him. He drops both glasses, including the one with the poison. So he's gonna be a daddy, because if you fail at delivering this potion, you're not going to be able to do it again. As that's why we read that dialogue from before. Once you delay, you're lost. If you fail the first time you try to use it, you'll never have the courage to use it again. Never. So that's it. He's gonna have to live with this, or
but
be a deadbeat dad. I don't know.
No, but
look at his eyes.
Yeah, I know.
The shock. He's in total. She's like, what?
Yeah, this is the part where we can analyze the entirety of this episode. And it's a very simple story. It's a very simple story with simple characters. Someone who's in lust for someone, mistaking it for love. Someone who cares not for him whatsoever, who's forced into the relationship. And yeah, like, and that's why everybody's mentioning Cosby so many times. But if you watch the episode, she seems infatuated with him because of the potion.
Yes.
And she will be so for the rest of their lives.
Look at the look on his face.
And so as soon as he realizes that, he pretends to go to sleep to escape the situation currently.
Well, I've never had sex with a pregnant woman. I don't know what it's like. I would always no, I can't make these
especially
jokes
that
on
early.
Wednesday.
Especially that early, it's no different. It's
fine? Okay, great.
In the very last scene, though, that's kind of neat. I don't know why this happens, but
Damon's
this
on the
is
balcony.
fun. Like Damon's on the balcony. He's revealed to be supernatural. So this is how you know he's really a demon. But he's blowing a heart-shaped smoke ring, and it rises into the sky. It's kind of neat, and then he disappears.
Yeah, but you guys keep talking about him as if he were a villain. What if he is Cupid?
Then it would have been real love.
Well, but
isn't Cupid real love?
Okay, like I know we've been making the joke, the Cosby. I champion the Cosby jokes, but what if this is like okay in the natural progression of pursuit and coupling? A man or a woman pursue one another, or whatever your denomination of getting laid is. And then you do the thing, and hopefully there's a procreative situation, but you find out that there are responsibilities to your infatuation. You have to do things to make that person happy. You have to do, and then all of a sudden there's something that will make it so it solidifies your relationship and you move forward with it, whether you want to or not. It is a bridge too far. You cannot go back. It's signed, sealed, delivered. Like, what if this is a cautionary tale? Like, again, it's a cautionary tale of be careful what you wish for. When you find out that all of the adventure that you're having with the person that you are infatuated with will lead you to only having that with them. There's an old joke. It's like, oh, I have the same cereal every day. This seems boring. Like, that's where Roger is. Roger is a selfish man. He wants things. He wants to possess Layla. He doesn't want to interact with her.
Right. He wasn't looking for a companion.
No.
He wasn't looking for someone to share his life with. And that was his first folly, is that he just wanted someone he lusted after rather than a life partner, which is what you really should be going for. When you go for marriage, you want someone who can be your best friend. And here...
Absolutely.
Yeah. And now what has he got? He's got this sycophantic, insipid lapdog. And it's like, well, I'm pregnant now. And he's like, oh, I'm responsible for another life.
Yeah.
Damn it.
And that's where he said, well, I couldn't have done it anyway.
And I think that, you know what? And again, I know I'm not supposed to get too deep or heavy. I think that's a reference to abortion.
Well, yeah, because if he actually went through with it,
he would have killed a pregnant woman.
No,
if it is poison. Or
he didn't know, so how could he?
He didn't know because she held up the knit.
And then he
dropped the glasses.
But what if he didn't drop the glasses?
Exactly.
He would have murdered her and the baby.
Yes, but Professor Damon said no trace.
But since he already hesitated, the potion is null and void.
Well, what's he gonna do? Hunter Biden it off the rug?
Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to read a bit from Mark Scott Zicree, the book that we all know and love, the Twilight Zone companion. It says that this shot of the smoke heart was accomplished by first filming John McIntyre pretending to blow a smoke ring, and then superimposing a shot of a smoky looking heart airbrushed on a black card. The card was moved back and forth in front of the camera to make it appear to dissipate by simply taking it out of focus. So that's a clever bit of camera magic in an episode with a little magic itself.
I loved it. I thought it was a great special effect.
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
I think the whole episode was good, weird, creepy. It had all kinds of different intonations in it. So
I liked it.
Great cap.
I enjoyed it very much. So
not my favorite of the two.
No, it's not my favorite. Well, just of the two here. Yeah, same. The next one has a little more heart, despite this one literally having a heart.
Well, but the thing is, and we'll get to it. Let's talk about the next episode. I'm gonna go and
yes.
You know.
So played by Robert Presnell Jr., based on the short story by John Collier. So there you go. There's your credits.
Brief intermission.
Produced for yourself, yes. Understood.
I need a pause for the cause.
John McIntyre. And we've got Patricia Berry. And there we are. Good work on it for everybody. George Grizzard as a Roger. Oh, that's what you meant by top billing. Yeah, the professor did get top billing. And so then, of course, we have the rest of the actors here in the episode who appeared. Probably those people who were at the phone booth just trying to get a phone call in. Just taking you back to a time where you were bound by interacting with others in order to make a phone call in public. You couldn't just use your cell phone back then. You had to bring your quarters, or maybe in the 60s it was nickels. I don't know what the phone booths took in the 60s, but in the 90s it was nickels. But yeah, nobody had cell phones. Maybe fancy people had the beepers. And so I think we did pretty good. We didn't get, he knocked her up. He did. Well, like Scotty was mentioning, there was a lot of gymnastics going on. Hello and welcome there, says Canadian Spider-Man. And hello and welcome to anyone just tuning in. We're in our stage where we're in between episodes, and I think we did a great job analyzing the last episode. If there's anything anyone wants to add, now's the time to do it. Star Wars Net says that KK is not stepping down in August, which had been announced. Don't know their reliability, but figure they are the propaganda mouthpiece of KK Disney Lucasfilm. So, but Sigvaldson, I can't trust anybody. So I'm just like Sigvaldson, just like you said. Let's see what Gog says. I'm just gonna wait. He's my favorite journalist on the matter. In fact, I wouldn't really even care much about it if he weren't reporting on it, because I love the original trilogy of Star Wars, but I'm a Star Trek fan. I watch him specifically because of Star Trek, and I love it. Star Wars is basically what I watch when I'm kind of drunk and I'm like, oh, I want to watch something that's going to fill my heart up a little bit. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your own reporting there, Sigvald. And that's fun. But our next episode is going to be called A Passage for Trumpet. And I suppose it doesn't hurt to get started on the next episode. Oh, wait, before we do, though, there was one bit of trivia from The Chaser that I didn't mention. So this short story was adapted for Tales from the Crypt. So in 1991, I loved Tales from the Crypt when I was a little kid. Actually, I hated it at first. I was so scared of it. So I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I kept running away from the TV because I guess whoever was watching it, they kept watching it, and I was scared of the little puppet, the Crypt Keeper. And eventually I stopped being scared of it and I started watching it. And I ended up loving this story because, of course, Tales from the Crypt is a lot like the Twilight Zone, like Outer Limits. And so they adapted this story for Tales from the Crypt, and they called it Loved to Death. And so now I want to go watch that episode. And it came out in 1991. And I guess, yeah, the episode starred Andrew McCarthy and Mariel Hemingway.
I'm back.
Yeah, welcome back. Because what I need from you is for you to read the closing narration of the last episode. We never did that.
The closing narration. Okay. I got it. Mr. Roger Shackelforth, who has discovered at this date that love can be as sticky as a vat of molasses, as an unpalatable as a hunk of spoiled yeast, and as all-consuming as a six-alarm fire in a bamboo canvas tent. Case history of a lover boy who should have never entered the Twilight Zone.
Oh, he's stuck in it forever now, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, he is.
For the rest of his life. Phrasing. I don't know what the phrasing is about. I'm sure I did some kind of phrasing, but hello to Brogu. Welcome, Brogu, to the chat. A Passage for Trumpet is our next episode, so let's bring that up. So, A Passage from Trumpet first aired on May 20th, 1960. It was directed by Don Medford, and it was written by Rod Serling. And even if you didn't know it was written by Rod Serling, you just have to watch it and you'd know it's written by him. It has him all over it. It has some lovely music by Lynn Murray. I love the unique trumpet sounds and the beautiful background music for this episode. It really brings you into it. So these are Don Medford is a first-time director for the Twilight Zone in this episode, according to the Twilight Zone Companion, whose credits have been included. I guess he also did The Fugitive, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., The FBI, and Beretta. In all, he would direct this, and he'd also direct 4 other Twilight Zone episodes, which we'll get to when we get to them. And Don was especially useful, says Buck Houghton, where you needed to be very, very gripping, and where violence of nature had something to do with it. And I don't mean violence in the sense of a baseball bat hitting a guy's head. I mean the tensions that go around violence. Don appreciates those. He likes them, and he struggles for them. Okay, that was because of Scotty's chat. I was giggling about, not about, Don appreciating violence. Okay, well, just in case, there, that's why I was laughing.
Oh, God.
So. Called the Twilight Zone? So anyway, yeah, so Richard L. Baer's plane accident is why we're getting all these new directors, which I'm glad that Richard L. Baer's okay, though. But it just made him unavailable for a while. Yeah, it was a good joke. But at the same time, that's really great because we've got these new directors, new talent, fun stuff. And also talent that returns. So apparently good talent, and definitely true because this was a great one. And so, although there's a little more production information in the Twilight Zone Companion, because the director of photography said Klugman gave one of the finest performances I've ever seen an actor give. But I got Rod and Buck down on the set in the middle of the second day. I said, if you're not going to stop the director the way he's going, this picture is going to be an hour picture. But if you can figure out any way we can put 2 episodes or get the network to let it go an hour, we'll have one of the greatest pictures ever seen. But they wouldn't go with me, and unfortunately, they cut the picture just to shreds. So now I want the director's cut of a passage for trumpet. I want the full hour as intended by the director. What I know that Twilight Zone is best seen in 30 minutes, so they made the right choice to cut it down in this instance. But I'm still curious, what did they leave? What are the deleted scenes for this episode?
I wonder if you can find it. Do you think you'd be able to track some?
I think we could if I track down the original script, the script for this. If I can find the real script, not just, the transcripts that you can find easily that portray what's on TV, but if you can find the actual script that they shot with. The shooting script for this episode would tell the story of the deleted scenes. That might be fun, right? That's what excites me about it. And and then there's more information about the production of this episode. But let's get into the opening narration. I'm going to read it.
You got it.
Yeah. Scotty's the opening narration. I love it when you do that.
So this opening narration is in two parts. Joey Crown, musician with an odd, intense face, whose life is a quest for impossible things like flowers and concrete, or like trying to pluck a note of music out of the air and put it under a glass to treasure. And he's watching the shadow. I love the shadows in this of the life he used to have. Like he's staring into the past, even though it's the present. He's looking into the nightclub, looking into the musician that he used to be. And he's out here in the alleyway with his trumpet. He's getting ready to play. And he does this thing with the trumpet.
Yeah, he kind of fillets
in love with it. He totally fillets
he makes out with
trumpet.
He makes out with the lip piece. I don't know what that's called.
The mouthpiece.
Sure. Same, sounds just as dirty.
The mouthpiece.
Well, yeah, that's what we call it in band class. I had a mouthpiece for my saxophone. And then you put the reed on it.
There's gonna be something. We're gonna talk about something, and I know it's gonna be controversial. But based on the way, I don't know. I've never played a trumpet. I don't know I know that there's a spit release, which kind of gross. But the thing is that I do not know how to prepare a mouthpiece on a trumpet. So if this is normal and natural, I give Jack Klugman incredible credit for going with it.
Well, like and it's important to know.
It is phallic. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not dirty. I'm just thinking, like, is that a thing that you do with that? Okay.
I've never seen. I've been in band. I don't know if anybody. I've never. But when I was a kid, I didn't think in this way. So I don't know if I've ever noticed if any of the kids.
So what do you think that if it's not common to playing a trumpet? Is it a dramatic choice? So what is Jack?
I think it is a dramatic choice.
What is Joey saying? What is the character saying?
He's saying that this is me. This is my trumpet, and this is a part of my body. It belongs with me. This is an appendage of me. I am lesser without this.
He's a vessel for a trumpet.
He is.
Or a passage, sorry.
That's how important it is to him.
Yeah. And it's still kind of, you know what? I've never seen this before. And I've been to jazz clubs where people play trumpets. And I have never seen anybody tongue love this much. Like I've seen
I haven't either.
Saxophone players,
but I think he wanted to have an idiosyncrasy. He wanted to bring something extra, and that was his extra.
Is he like, again, I go back to the spit release. Like, is he putting a little spit in there so it warbles? Is that like part of his method? I don't understand, Joey.
Scotty, that's brilliant. I have no idea because I
I've
didn't play
never
the trumpet.
thought of it that way. I tried the trumpet when I was in junior high school. A week, I said to my father, I'm all set, and handed it back to him. Get your money back before it's too late. I don't
Yeah.
want to
Oh
play
wow.
no one's. I'll
Wow,
pass.
you figured that out quick. I
Yeah,
kind of
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's great that you mentioned that, Scotty, because later on, it in my notes I do mention that he did, since we did have unique trumpet soundtrack to go along with this episode, he learned from that person. Let's get that person's name who made the music. That's Lynn Murray. He learned about the trumpet, how to move his fingering, the fingering of the trumpet.
Which
From
I thought
him.
was really good. Because I hate it when people pretend to play an instrument and it doesn't look like they're playing the instrument. And when I looked at Jack Klugman's face, he was playing the trumpet. And then when I looked at his fingering, yes, there you go. Your Star Trek or Alien Covenant joke. I'll do the fingering. But yeah, no, I thought it was absolutely beautiful and brilliant. It was like when Picard plays the flute in any of the episodes where Picard plays the flute and they have to get stunt hands who are musicians.
Well, and here,
But Jack did it better. Who's this
here
guy?
Joey, here Joey's meeting up with Baron, his friend and fellow musician,
Yeah,
played by Frank Wolf.
super good performance, super great. Like he is an antagonist in this, but he's also Joey's friend.
He's a friend. But he's a friend, but he has to break the news to Joey that that Joey isn't wanted for his music. And the problem is that Joey's an alcoholic, and that ruins his performance somehow. And he is claiming that he is 6 months sober. He's pleading to play, but then the whiskey falls.
This is, I think, and I'm sorry to have interrupted, but I think that this is a beautiful representation of an alcoholic. I have some experience. And
like hiding.
Yeah, the hiding, the like, and this is only the first half. Like the bottle breaking is like, you're a bum, Joey, but that's not what happens. Like,
No.
and the friend pleading is like, dude, you used to be the best, and then you got into the drink and you met some hard times. Everybody sounds like, you want to buy a watch, but because it's the Twilight Zone. But it is something where it's like, you used to be really good. If you just stopped drinking, you would be the best.
And
then he breaks the bottle.
Him.
And then he breaks the bottle and he says, why are you doing this? And he's like, because I'm sad. Because
in the private
everything makes me upset. Everything makes me upset. But when I have a drink, nothing makes me upset. It all looks like sunshines and lollipops and rainbows everywhere. And I can fill the world with the joy that I see if I'm drunk. And it's like, well, as long as you do that, if that is your choice, foreshadowing. If you want to get drunk, get drunk. Or you can be good. Or you can be great. And he's like, okay. And so much, and this is why I think that Baron is a friend, is even when Joey is caught in the lie, he breaks his bottle, Baron puts a little scratch in his breast pocket, and it's like, and Joey is remorseful, but he's not going to push it away. And he's like, you don't have to do that. Don't do that. And he's like, for old times, man, for old times.
He still accepts the money.
Of course he does. He's a drunken bum. He'll be nothing, I tells yous. Nothing.
Yeah, and the dialogue is great, but you did a great paraphrasing of it. Of
Do you want me
what
to?
it means.
Do you want it?
You
Who wants
don't.
to? I already did it.
Yeah, you already did it. And if you want to see, you want it.
The real
you gotta
version?
go- the real version. Go watch the episode, unless you want
Yes.
to reread it. But
No, I don't.
you
I
already
don't.
read
I
it.
think you're
You
right.
already read it.
It would be grandiose if I reread it.
Yeah, it would. But only when I'm drunk. That is sad. He says he can only play well when he's drunk, which I suppose it feels like a fallacy that many alcoholics fall into. I just the falling into the fantasy land. I don't think drinking is required for a great performance. It might help to have a shot for your nerves if you have them, but if not,
Liquid courage.
all it does, I think, of course, it to a certain point, it'll addle you, and that's why he's been not allowed to play at the nightclubs.
But I love the way that Baron puts it. I had to share you with a bottle. It's so.
Oh yes,
that is poetic. I mean, it's like, I like you. I just had to share you with the bottle.
mm-hmm. Exactly.
And of course, he's in denial because he thinks he plays good while he's drunk. You know,
but that's also, hey, again, I have some experience with this. Oh no, I'm only good when I drink, and then other people wake me up the next morning and say,
no, you've done terrible things.
You seriously, you have to reassess your life, yo.
Go look at the village. Look what you've done.
Your car is in the lawn. On the lawn?
It's
no,
that song?
in the lawn.
Oh man.
I don't know how you got that airborne.
No drinking and driving.
No,
but Joey's putting himself down, just plain
bicycle.
ordinary. Just plain ordinary nothing. And then he says, "Oh man,
but that's the thing.
I'm tired of hanging around."
But that's the thing. He does, and again, going back to the music of the episode, which I think is the core that makes me feel it, and especially the performance of Mr. Klugman, is when he does play beautifully, and then he gets to that last note, like Riker on a trombone, and it doesn't sound right. And he knows it. You can tell through the performance. You can tell by the music. And he tries it again and again. And he had just said, I can only do this well when I'm drunk. And he breaks his bottle of booze, which he had already been into. So he's wrong. He's lying about his addiction. And now this is what I think alcoholics call a moment of clarity. If I may paraphrase Quentin Tarantino's Jules Winfield. He wakes up and realizes, well, if I can't do it when I'm drunk and I can't do it when I'm sober, what good am I?
Really? I don't know. I don't notice any time where I dislike his trumpeteering.
Oh no, but there's a moment of regret. He F's up the final note.
Does he?
I wish we could watch it specifically because it is, again, it's a musical performance. This is such a good episode. This is probably my favorite episode of the Twilight Zone so far.
It's really speaking to the human heart of the matter of the issue. It drives right into the issue that it's talking about. It doesn't shy away from it. And this is very good, Serling. This is.
Well, don't you get a little bit of a Wonderful Life vibe out of it?
I thought it was. He plays, yes, A Wonderful Life. Absolutely, it's beautiful. I thought it was emotional music. I didn't think the last note was bad.
No, there was one, and it sounded like a Flintstones punchline horn blat.
I feel like he meant to do it that way.
I don't. He looked at his horn.
He was expressing anger. He was expressing sadness.
He busted up his case and everything. He was like, no, he had a tantrum about how he sucked.
Well, and his friend just told him that every time he drinks, he louses it up. And then we move into the opening narration part 2. Joey Crown, musician with an odd, intense face, who, in a moment, will try to leave the earth and discover the middle ground, the place we call the Twilight Zone. And so after that,
we do have to mention he said he wanted to play like Gabriel.
Oh, I missed that. Thank you.
No, he does say specifically, I want to be like Gabriel. I want, when I release the music, I want it to joy, hope, happiness, tears, longing. I want to play.
Oh, that's like right. Well, maybe we should have read that quote then. Because I'm sad, because I'm nothing, because I'll live and die in a crummy one-roomer with dirty walls and cracked pipes. I'll never even have a girl. I'll never be anybody. Half of me is this horn. I can't even talk to people, Baron, because this horn, that's half my language. But when I'm drunk, Baron, oh, when I'm drunk, boy, I don't see the dirty walls or the cracked pipes. I don't know the clock's going, that the hours are going by. Because then I'm Gabriel. Oh, I'm Gabriel. With the golden horn. And when I put it to my lips, it comes out jewels. It comes out a symphony. It comes out the smell of fresh flowers in summer. Comes out beauty. Beauty when I'm drunk, Baron. Only when I'm drunk. And that's the full quote that was paraphrased earlier.
You should still watch the episode, Jill. You did a great job. That was fucking awesome. Sorry about the swear.
Oh, he does it better. He does it way better.
Yeah.
This is an incredible performance.
Yeah, Jack Klugman has always been one of my favorites.
I always get him mixed up with Norman Fell.
Tell me about Jack Klugman, please.
Yeah, there's something about Norman Fell and Jack Klugman, but today the highlight is on Jack Klugman.
Odd Couple, for instance, with him and Tony Randall. I mean, he was amazing in that, his comedic talents. And, of course, he's in other episodes of The Twilight Zone.
Wasn't he Quincy?
Yes, he was.
Effing
I was going to make a funny comment. Where's Sam? Because Jack Klugman's assistant in the coroner's office was Sam. And I used to love Quincy. Me and my dad that used to be our show. We used to watch.
That was like House for the 70s.
Yeah, he was like always getting his nose involved when he was like when the cops were investigating. He'd always really like push, and the cops would always say, "You're not a cop. You're just a crime." Forensic.
I know the science.
Medical
examiner.
Yes. Yeah, coroner's. Medical. He was amazing. I used to love that. And man, been in a couple of episodes of that. I think he was in one with Bill Mummy, Pip. I think he's in that one.
He's in that one. The field. He's going to send you to the cornfield.
Yeah, It's a Good Life. Yeah. So yeah, Jack Klugman has had a very, very. His career has been nothing but great stuff, in my opinion. I
only really remember him for the tracheotomy.
I remember that, the emergency trach.
No. I mean that Jack Klugman was a lifelong smoker, and he was one of those sort of.
Oh, I didn't know he had a trach. See, I didn't.
Oh, yeah, yeah. In his later, like in the 90s and the 2000s, like before he died, I don't even know when he died. But like, he was like, "Don't smoke, kids." He was like Betty Davis with a cyborg.
Yeah, I thought there was an episode.
Oh, he had that thing. The voice. He had the voice modulator.
Respect to the man. He was advocating for people to quit smoking because this is what it did to me, kind of stuff. So yeah, no, Jack Klugman.
It says he was also in 12 Angry Men, which is actually a movie I've seen. So I've enjoyed his performance already.
You've never, know what? I just saw 12 Angry Men last year. Don't worry about it. Watch it. It is, if you like Quincy, you're going to love 12 Angry Men.
Then
you're in for such a treat, yo.
I'll have to check it out, Scotty. I'll get back to you after I do. I'll let you know if I like it.
Please do. We should do a review.
Yeah, that would be good.
I would like
I'll
that.
watch it. We'll all watch it, and you watched it just recently.
See, this is what I love about classic television and classic film. Is who brought us to 12 Angry Men? Jack Klugman. Anyway, he's selling his trumpet, the only thing that ever allows him to speak to people. Sounds like a bad move.
Well, yeah, and like we said, it's part of him. This trumpet he says it's half of me. It's a part of his body. So it's like selling your prosthetic leg if you had one. And he's only going to get $8.50, and even with inflation at $92, that's still not a lot of money to give up something so important to your soul.
I don't know if you want to get wasted. Well, and also he feels that he doesn't even, the way that he sells it, he feels like he doesn't deserve it anymore. This is a man who's planning to die.
That's exactly right, and that's what was explained in the opening sequence. Serling even says he's going to try to leave Earth.
Yeah.
And
like that's an amazing way. Like I know that there's a like unaliving and everything like that on the internet, but I love the way that they describe it, and it's like, yes, and this man is going to endeavor to end his existence. It's like, no, there are creative ways to say things you can't say. You don't necessarily have to say them.
That pawn shop keeper looks very familiar too in this. I think I've seen him in other things. The pawn shop guy.
I'd have to see him.
Ned Glass.
He's behind a newspaper like a spy. Hey, Wes Cagle, what's up, yo?
Hey, Wes.
Greetings and felicitations.
So tell me what you know Ned Glass from, if you know. Do you know him?
I don't know what he's from. I just said he
Oh.
looks familiar. I might have seen him. I'm not sure if it was on other episodes of this or him in another shows.
Booger 414 says Quincy M.E. was a great show. Another interesting court movie to look into is Sleepers. Although it is a dark movie and was surrounded by some controversy, says Booger.
Well, Booger, I know what it is. It's got like Kevin Bacon and
I don't think I played that today, Wes Cagle. Let's play that for you.
Oh, delicious.
Yeah. I don't remember if I did or not. Let's play it again.
No, I'm familiar with Sleepers. I haven't seen it. But it has Kevin Bacon.
Greetings and felicitations.
Oh.
Well,
Absolutely smashing.
Part of that creative wording was also due to the network censorship at the time.
Which absolutely. But when it comes to writing, I think that one of the worst things that happened was the availability of cursing on television. I think that using euphemism or creative turn of phrase is something that has been lost in audiences sometimes. Like when you can say, like, I am at a point in my life, and I know this gets me in trouble on this channel with this audience. I have no problem with the word fuck. No problem whatsoever.
Oh.
There are so many other words
I thought you were going to say
that are
something bad.
worse. That I am totally fine with. But the thing is that when you find yourself in different company, the ability to use words to say fuck is so much more interesting. It's like a crossword puzzle. How do I tell this person to go F themselves? I know I used up all my fucks.
You did.
But how much?
But when you don't use the curse words, like Booger saying euphemism leads to greater creativity. It leads to
Yes.
poetry.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Yes.
But you like the colorful metaphors, Scotty.
Well, no, but the
Yeah.
thing is that while I was talking about not using any swears, I was swearing consistently. So the juxtaposition I found hilarious.
Yeah, I gotta say
That's also
But
a
it
form of
wasn't too bad
poetry.
though.
I wasn't being that bad.
No.
Well, I might
I don't have to edit it out.
Let's make a poll. Was Scott being too bad? We'll do that after the poll.
I have seen some period pieces that are entirely dependent on modern cursing, and it usually takes away from the show.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, you're right, Scotty, that some of that art is lost because they no longer have to do it, so they get lazy and they don't do it and they just use the word.
Yeah.
And you can tell.
Like no one is gonna make me hear that word again the same way that I heard it when Samuel L. Jackson said it in Pulp Fiction. Like that was when that was like, okay, sure, now everyone can do it.
So he sold a bit of his soul. So right here, he sold his trumpet.
That's true. That's actually accurate.
He
even tried. Look at that! What the hell, man?
I had to get at least one fillet in the thing.
I can't believe he said that.
He doesn't actually like make the motion or anything, but you do think of it when he brings it to his mouth.
I have never seen.
That's not how you play the trumpet.
Yeah, like exactly. I was like, you're doing it wrong. But then I found out that it was some sort of. It was a character trait. It was something that he did with his trumpet. Even when he borrows another guy's trumpet later, he does the same thing. And I'm like, oh, it's not even your trumpet. You're just attracted to trumpet.
He loves those trumpets.
That's
but
it.
Anyway,
Trumpophile.
He takes his today dollars of $92 and he goes to the bar.
As you do.
I don't know how much. Hello, lemon pie. Lemon pie.
Lemon.
Yes.
Lemon. Oh.
Well, speaking of euphemisms, that's a cute one. Getting drunk is getting pickled. That's cute.
Yeah. Well, that's what I say to people when they've had too much. You're pickled.
Were there a cucumber before? Well, now he's not playing, but he's still drinking, but he doesn't have his trumpet.
Exactly.
Staggering out of the bar.
Well, the bar is right. You know what? If you're going to open a pawn shop, put it right beside a bar. Guaranteed.
Business. And actually, this really does remind me of Fear and Loathing because he's acting silly. He's making a fake bow to the pretty lady who's totally ignoring him, and he doesn't even have a hat, but he takes off his hat for her to be respectful. It's just funny. And it's just to show his inebriation and his delusion. And it's a good performance. I'm going to read verbatim, I think, from the Twilight Zone Companion. Usually I'll paraphrase it, but this is a particularly good passage from Mark Scott Zicree. Please forgive me, Mark. If Medford liked intensity, then the leading man he had to work with suited him ideally. Playing trumpeter Joey Crown was Jack Klugman, an actor rarely matched for power and subtlety of performance. This is the first of Klugman's 4 starring roles on The Twilight Zone, a number equaled only by Burgess Meredith, and it is a minor masterpiece. Shush. Perhaps
Scotty, I heard that.
Any other actor, Klugman was able to exemplify the urban loser, the underdog, struggling to improve himself, but knowing deep down that the odds are overwhelmingly against him.
You can see the look in his eyes too, as he's looking at his old trumpet. As look at unbelievable
passion.
the way you can
He-
see it.
Someone should clip
the
this
loss.
and make. Yeah, exactly. This is the look on my face when I'm dreaming about. I want my She-Hulk.
You want your what?
She-Hulk.
But you never had the She-Hulk. How can you miss her?
No,
You never had her.
so it's okay.
She-Hulk.
So it's twice as much. No, stop it! Don't say nothing bad.
No,
All right,
no,
that's
I don't
fine.
want a
That's
woman to be that big and bulky and stronger than me.
Yeah, different strokes to move the world, my friend.
If the turns you on, if you
this
want to
is-
have some She-Hulk, you go for it, my friend.
Yeah, this is.
I will.
This is
More for me.
Yeah, more for Scotty, and it's okay if Scotty likes She-Hulk. We're going to accept his his love.
You don't have to.
It's like I don't understand why O'Brien loves Keiko. Like why does Miles love Keiko? But he does, and so
I do.
I just accept it as a fact.
Like I am so. Let's finish this episode with before we start a Keiko thing, because I'm going to defend Keiko until the cows come home.
Oops.
And I'm going to tell you how she dismisses her family. Jacob Ironside says, "Sorry, I'm late. You're just on time because you decided to be here. Thank you so much for showing up." Is this an episode of Quincy?
Yes.
Says Lemon Pie. No.
It's an episode
I have
of the
not.
Odd Couple, yes.
It's an episode of The Odd Couple. That's it. And The Odd Couple is a Trumpet and Joey here.
Yeah, Booger. That's funny. Yes, this is going to be the look on my face when I pawn my incredibly expensive She-Hulk doll that someone else bought for me, and I'll look at it longingly and be like, someday. Oh my stars. But that's what's heartbreaking about this.
Agreed.
Is that it is literally what happened at the beginning of the episode. Is that he's been told you are talented. You can do whatever you want if you just give up the one thing. And then he gets his money. And what does he do? He gets wasted and then runs back to his one thing. And he's like, why did I do the thing that got me away from you? Which is an
Well, you're skipping to the next scene. I wanted to yeah.
He's longing.
Sorry, go ahead.
It. He is longing
you're right,
for
you're
it
right.
here.
And
you were
after
going to say
having Oh, you're right. Exactly. So after having spent some of that cash at the bar, he goes to look longingly at that instrument. It's now being sold for $25, which adjusted for inflation is $272.87. So that would give the store owner $180 of profit.
That's a lot, but it's a pawn shop next to a bar, guys. I'm telling you, it's a perfect business opportunity. Drunks will sell anything.
Yeah, but he sees the price now, and he only got $8.50 for it, and he's looking in the. Yeah, go ahead.
Because he's a drunk.
Yeah, but now the pawn owner's like explaining to him, I have to, I got overhead, and he's making, and then that's just the starting price. He's giving him all these excuses why it's marked at 25. Is what, as he sees.
He has overhead. Exactly.
And then to justify his rampant margin, he's like, I got responsibilities. What do you got? You got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing at all. No responsibilities. No, nothing. It's a little harsh.
Nothing.
And you see the look he's giving him back, like, see what I'm going to sell it for now, you sucker?
I got more hair than you, old man.
Oh, but Gavin wants to send you this message before we go to the street.
After a time, you may find that having is not so pleasing a thing after all as wanting. It is not logical, but it is often true.
Gavin, I want to tell you a story, just briefly. A very good friend of mine sent me a Captain America shield, and I have been terrified to walk down the street with a Captain America shield. Not for any political reasons, but like people will think that it's fucking weird. Sorry about the swear. and I have it. I can do it whenever I want, but I'm terrified of doing it. And so that is what that quote means to me right now. Like, I have a Captain America shield and I want to wear it like a tuxedo. And I can't. I wish I could. I wish I could just wander around with a Captain America shield, but society, they won't let me just wander with a Captain America shield. Where's the justice?
The imagery in this episode that is brought by the actor is just incredible. I don't think anybody told him to put his thumb to his lips as if it were an invisible trumpet.
Oh, no, beautiful.
His facial expressions are amazing as he's clung, like leaning against there with his thumb in his mouth, kind of, and he looks exasperated, depressed, all the negative emotions that could hit a person at their lowest are at him at this point. Right now, they're just tearing him apart.
Rock
but
bottom.
Also,
that's what.
Like earlier, he decided the reason that he sold the trumpet is because he's already decided that he was going to kill himself. Oh, Lemon, there's no dilemma. No sane person would wander the streets with a Captain America shield, no matter how, like, I have to get the jacket before I can just walk around. Like, I got to be in full cosplay. You can't just walk around with the shield. So when I decide to go insane, it's when I finally assembled my Captain America costume. You know, it'll be like Stark of Iron, but in real life. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna solve crimes or nothing. I'm just gonna. I'm
see Scotty on the friggin' news in cuffs with the
exactly.
Captain America, old lady
arrested in Ontario. Everyone's gonna be like, "How dare they?"
With a pound of weed in his trunk.
No, I won't even take cigarettes on that adventure. I don't want Captain America to be seen as a smoker.
that's the full answer. Lemon Pie is that he needs the little thing that makes the Captain America shield like a backpack, so it's just hanging harmlessly on his back, so he's not like wielding a shield in people's faces everywhere, which is what would get him in trouble.
Like, and I would hang it on my right arm, so it'd be hard to open doors because I'd have to be lefty.
Exactly. So
it's just going to be cumbersome. Have you ever been to a Halloween party where someone is like wearing a giant refrigerator box and it's like, yeah, no, we get it. You put a lot of work into this, but it's still in the way. What? I went to go see the last Captain America movie and people were like, are you going to take your shield? And I was like, where am I going to put it? Do I have to buy it a ticket? Anyway,
that would have been really cute. That would have been really cute if you bought it a seat. I was waiting to see if you were actually going to do that.
Yeah, but people aren't even buying me a She-Hulk. How can I expect them to get me a ticket to Captain America Brave New World?
We're going to get you a vaccination for the She-Hulk.
So then we got the truck.
She's not chlamydia.
Oh, a vaccination for She-Hulk? Yeah, yes. She's just a big piece of plastic.
I think. Well, that sounds like a growth. Anyway.
Nothing at all. Okay, so a truck.
So anyway, back to the episode. Meanwhile, back on the rant.
A truck. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just checking my gain. I don't know.
No, I'm over talking.
Too loud.
It's my mistake.
Okay. A truck nearly runs a man over instead of slowing down. He decides to get in front of the truck. And so we have I guess maybe he's given this idea by seeing this man almost get run over. So Joey gets in front of the truck. He's hit by it. But it doesn't really look like he gets hit on.
He like grazed, it looks like.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
It looked good. He bounced off the fender.
Okay. It scared this lady enough to scream.
Well, but that's also it is a transitionary scream.
It is. Nonetheless, everyone's disturbed and they shriek, and she shrieks in horror to give us that feeling that he might be dead.
No, but
I want to say
He did, like, and the thing, this is where I was like, you bum. I hate it when people disrupt traffic. If you're going to kill yourself, don't throw yourself in front of a subway. Don't stop don't mess up with people's traffic. Like, find a way to do it yourself. Don't make a public statement. You know, you should make a public statement that you are, if there are people in the audience who are having difficulties, and I mean this with the utmost sincerity, don't kill yourself, just generally.
Lemon Pie understands you. Don't ruin the truck driver's day.
Don't ruin your day, because you know what? The sun will, and I'm not being facetious, come out tomorrow.
Jill lost sound.
I lost sound? You can't hear me?
What the hell?
Can you hear me?
No, oh no, I didn't mean to.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
This is good news.
I can. Okay, yeah, I got scared.
I lost sound. I lost sound at my end. Something happened with my headpiece.
Okay.
I fixed it. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, great. I can hear you. Okay.
I like this image right here, by the way, with him.
Me too. That's why I've been stuck on
the reflection.
But that's also
the reflection.
It messed me up for the end of the episode. I was all like weird about it because I thought that he was going to be like the ghost of the trumpet.
I thought so too. That's what I thought. I thought he was dead and that this was it. And so does he. He decides pretty early on that he's dead when he can't see his reflection. And he can't talk to the police officer, so we're going through his revelation that he believes he's passed. And so it feels like another one of those episodes where a soul has departed and he has to discover that he's no longer with everyone else. No one can see him. And he yells at the ticket lady who can't see him. Then he looks into the mirror and he can't see
reflection.
Vampire.
He can't see himself either. And so the way that this was done was kind of cool. The girl inside the ticket booth, reflected from before, everything is the same. And to do this cinematically, they used a clear glass, and there was a reverse duplicate of the set. And the girl in the ticket booth is the other lady's twin sister.
Really?
Wow.
Huh.
Yes.
Ingenious.
That's so cool, isn't it? I love that. That's my favorite.
I knew it was doubles. I knew that that's the way that they did it when I saw it, and I still thought it was ingenious because there is a point where he does sort of hit the mirror, and it is visually, like, you can tell it's like, oh, that is glass. It's not him miming.
Lemon Pie agrees with Scotty. Never self-delete. Right. The sun will come out tomorrow. That's great. That's a great way of putting it. I did it. I do agree. And the sad part is how happy he is about this when he figures out that he's gone.
I'm a ghost.
At last, I was successful at something.
Yeah. But
that look.
But I like the idea that, well, we'll get there. So he's wandering around being a ghost, reminiscing.
Yeah, he is. He's okay. He goes to the bar to talk to the bartender, even though he knows that he's not going to talk back. This is strange. He's able to pick up the whiskey and the shot glass and pour himself a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
So that's what disturbed the reality for me.
It disturbed you. Well, I thought the explanation later actually covers it.
Right.
Yeah.
When we get to the end, it makes sense now. But here I'm like, wait, he's a ghost. How is he interacting with objects?
No, I was waiting for it, but I was like, okay, so what is that? That's a hanging Chad. Like that's something.
But this is something. This is set up, and there's a payoff.
Yes, there is. Absolutely.
And you see how the other actors are all like, they play this so well, like he's not there, and they don't, they keep to going through the motions, but as he's trying to communicate with people. And especially when he comes up to the jukebox and you see another production flop because his reflection wouldn't show in the mirror, but as you see, you can see his reflection on the jukebox.
Oh, that's a good point. I think actually
I extrapolated that right away when I saw that scene. I go, a little bit of maybe a production error there.
This is the production error. Very good, Jedi Master. This is very much a production error. He should not have a reflection in the glass here.
Do you okay, I understand what you're doing, but
that's just my observation.
I know, I get it. And I'm happy. Yes, that is a production error. However, does it take away from the storytelling that you notice it? Does it really, or are you focused on Jack Klugman? Are you focused on Joey instead of watching the reflection?
I watched the whole thing, and I just noticed that after him not being able to reflect on the first mirror, and I'm watching the whole story. I'm just saying I picked that thing out from it when I watch something. I pick out like bad clipping and green, like that new, like you mentioned, the new Captain America, Captain Falcon, whatever nonsense that was.
Yeah,
that movie is like it just bad, poorly done. Poorly done.
Well, no, and in terms of special effects and whatnot, but considering this is 1960, they sort of established it in the world that he doesn't have a reflection. He's not really here. He can interact with things. Nobody notices. I get that from this. And if I see his reflection in the jukebox, it doesn't sort of stop my believing in what the dramatic presentation is.
Oh, me either. I just said I pointed it out. I just picked.
Yes, it's like a stage play. Well, no, but it's correct though. It is a production error, but it doesn't take away from it. Just like if you're watching a stage play and they set up a rule for the world, like Scotty said, you buy into it, whether or not that rule is 100% always followed. And I'd like to say hello to the Comic Relief Crusader. Hi, guys.
Hey, comic.
And beyond the technicalities of this scene, what's important about it is the reason why he's at this jukebox, why he is staring at it. He is listening to a recording. I don't know if this is the recording of his recording, but he's reminiscing about a friend he had named Charlie, who once loved his trumpet playing so much that he recorded it onto a record for him and put it in the jukebox.
He went and bought a Tommy Dorsey record that had him on a single where he does like a 7-minute solo. And Charlie went to go buy it and put it in the jukebox. And he did it just for Joey. Didn't even tell him he was going to do it.
It wasn't his solo?
It was Joey's solo.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, but it was a Tommy Dorsey record, and so there's I'm trying to.
Oh right, yeah, it wasn't his entire album.
No.
I didn't mean to portray that. I just meant to say that.
Although it's fun to name drop Tommy Dorsey.
His performance on the trumpet was good enough to be on
Tommy Dorsey in
somebody's music. Let me read it so that we're clear on it. Where Charlie, every now and then, he used to give me a drink on the house. Charlie was nice. You know what he did? Charlie went out and he bought an old Tommy Dorsey record from way back when I was playing with him. So Joey used to play with Tommy Dorsey, and on the record there was a singer with me on the horn. Oh, okay. So Charlie didn't do the recording. He bought the record. Okay, gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay, you're right.
Which reminds me, don't forget to like and subscribe. Consider joining the channel.
Oh, definitely. Consider joining the channel.
Be like Charlie. Charlie.
That's a different Charlie.
Yes.
He needs to watch out for his kidney.
I'll be back. Yes. Speaking of my kidneys.
May 7th will be our next membership stream. if you're a member, that'll be really, really great to see you there. That's my most free stream of all. We can talk about absolutely everything, almost everything.
Almost.
And so that is a lot of fun. And Charlie, yeah, jeez. Well, and there we go. Now he's back. So he's reminiscing. The point of this scene is that he had great friends. He had good friends, friends who cared about him, and he's realizing that. And that's the point where Scotty was saying that this was like, it's a wonderful life. Absolutely, this is that point where he's realizing there was some good stuff in his life. He not only ended up on that record, but one of his bartender friends loved him so much that he put his music in his jukebox at his bar. Oh, must get a new microphone cable by then, says Gavin Blackburn for some reason. And now he's back. Now he's back at the nightclub, the place where he was at the start of the episode, where he used to play his trumpet. And there's a lady smoking here. And when she gets back, she closes the door. However, Joey hears another trumpet starting to play. Joey's watching someone else in the alleyway here playing the trumpet. He compliments his work, and to his surprise, the player says thank you. So Joey has found someone he can talk to. He also knows his name is Joey Crown, so he knows his name. He will talk to him. And let's see, this actor, who he is. He's played by, Gabriel is played by John Anderson. John Anderson is his name. And let's see if I know him from anything. Wow, 1922 he was born. And he's from Iowa. Oh, Illinois. Actually, he's from Illinois, and he went to school in Iowa. He appeared in Paint Your Wagon in 1951. He did a lot of westerns. I guess you could say that about a lot of actors from this era. Rockford Files also, and Have Gun Will Travel. So that's The Incredible Hulk, MacGyver, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Wow. This guy was busy.
He was super busy. I'm not even listening to everything. There's more. The Alfred Hitchcock Hour. Gunsmoke. Perry Mason. Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color. What did he do there? I don't know. Oh, an eccentric farmer who jealously guards his prize watermelon. And MacGyver. Oh, he was a recurring character on MacGyver. Damn. Wow. Okay, and this is what I was looking for. I knew there was going to be. He also made an appearance on Star Trek, and this is why there was something familiar about him. That must be what I know him for. But I don't remember what episode he was in. Okay, so let's find out what the role precisely was for Star Trek for Mr. John Anderson. John Anderson played. Let's see what he played. Oh. Okay, yeah, and he does look noticeably older in his Star Trek role. Here is, yeah, I know, Memory Alpha.
Wow.
Is the best.
But he has aged good. I mean, he looks old, but he's still, when was this filmed? And now look at him now.
The episode The Survivors.
Are you saying that that's Kevin Uxbridge?
John Anderson.
Good Tea, Nice House, Kevin Uxbridge?
He played Kevin Uxbridge, yeah, on Star Trek, The Next Generation.
Moly. He is very charismatic. Correct. I love Gabriel. I'm so glad I didn't miss him.
You didn't miss him at all, because I got into a trap of going to his Wikipedia to check out his career. And boy, what a career this man has had. And when I saw Star Trek. I had to see. He was also in several other Twilight Zone episodes, so we're gonna see him again. And I'm not gonna spoil which ones, but you can go look him up if you want. And he was on an Outer Limits episode too. Whoa, weird. The strangest thing here is the first release of the 1993 soundtrack music from the television series Quantum Leap was dedicated to him.
Wow.
So he must have had a musical career.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Oh, so was that really him playing the trumpet then? And so then somebody loved him enough to put every episode he was in down here. All I had to do was just look down here and I would have seen.
Yeah,
he
but
played
guys,
and Conley. Yeah.
He killed all of the Dowd everywhere. So
yeah.
let's not.
But here he's a good guy. Here he's an angel.
He's the best guy here. This is so.
But
bad.
Is he an angel? That's the thing.
I think so.
But the Archangel Gabriel does signal, the end of days. When you hear his
that's
horn.
Right. Well, you hope he doesn't
like
play
it's good news if you're a pious Christian.
Yeah. Well, and
actually, you know what? I don't know. I don't know enough about Gabriel to say which denominations of pious he represents. And also, he and she
Gabriel's
is such
here
an
also
arbitrary thing because they're all as anatomically correct as Ken dolls. As Salma Hayek said, angels lack definition.
Well, now we're bleeding into Dogma, the movie by Kevin
but that's
Smith.
An angel. It's an angel.
But I don't know if you can apply Kevin Smith rules to the the Twilight Zone.
Sure, I do.
Okay.
And that's my problem. My blasphemy.
Well, okay, so Gabe is Joey doesn't know his name is Gabe right now. But he is here to tell Joey that he's not a ghost. So that's why he was able to pick up the whiskey and drink some.
Well, and more importantly,
everyone. Yeah, yes.
If I may, he's like, you can hear me? And he's like, yeah, thanks. It's like, don't stop. And he's like, oh, okay. I hear you.
Yeah, he says everyone else were the dead ones. And he's actually alive. That's why they couldn't hear him. It's kind of strange. He's being told that
he's still got spirit. He still has a desire. He has a choice. And that's
he's in limbo.
The interesting part. He's in limbo.
Please read this from the chat. I want you to read this one.
Which one? Me?
And the private chat. Yes, Scotty.
Oh, the private chat. Okay. Is it lit? There it is. I always felt I was getting dealt from the bottom. Or maybe I just forgot how much there was for me. And maybe I forgot about the music that I could make on this horn. And how nice it sounded. And going into Charlie's and talking to people. And maybe going to a movie now and then, I never won a beauty contest. But, I had friends. I mean, I had good ones. Good ones. Should have put more of a pause there. Yeah, somewhere along the line, I just forgot about the good things. That's what happened. And it's like a perfect bookend to the beginning thing where Joey is talking about all this stuff and he's like, why do you drink so much, Joey? And it's like, because shit is shit. And I forget about the shit when I'm drunk. And then it closes with the, well, maybe I was looking at this glass as being half empty. When in real life, half full. So I think it's not preachy, but it's motivational. It's kind of like, it's funny that you bring up Quantum Leap, because this is the kind of thing that is in the last episode of Quantum Leap. And it's like, yeah, things are going to get bad. Things are going to get good. But are you going to be happy about it, or are you going to cry? Well, there are going to be struggles. It might be mint, or it might, he gives such a dichotomous list of, some days it's going to be sugar. Some days it's going to be salt.
Yeah, you got to live with it.
Yeah.
But I think this is his rehabilitation. Never mind. Go ahead.
But also, well, and
wait, what were you going to say? No, never mind, Jedi Master. You're here for a reason. What was the thought?
Yes, sir.
Well, no. I think this is like his rehabilitation in the state of limbo, where this guy is going to get him on the train tracks. At the end, it kind of, when we get there, this is like his limbo stage is like him getting his sorted out. This is what I'm extrapolating from this whole scene. Is he realizes that he like you said, he did have a lot of good friends and good things. He just let them go for the booze and everything. And now this guy is centering him to the point where when he does, as we finish up, we see what happens, the results of this interaction here. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Well, it's an easygoing performance that reminds me of like at the end of The Big Lebowski, where you have an intense character like the dude, well, not that intense, but then you have the easygoing one of the cowboy. And it's like the pairing and the chemistry between these two actors. You're absolutely right. Like, I love everything about this.
And this is like to me, great interaction in this episode. I like this interaction.
Beautiful. I love this quote. Yeah, it's a nice talent you've got to make music, to move people, make them want to laugh, make them want to cry. They can tap their feet, make them want to dance. That's an exceptional talent, Joey. Don't waste it. And there we are. That's the advice. As Joey's already decided he wants to go back. He's made his choice. And there's a bit I want to read from the Twilight Zone companion. He says about this set.
Screenshot. Can you get me that screenshot?
I can. I'll get it for you without the black and white Eric's also.
Okay. Oh no, but I want the black and white Eric's.
You want Eric's? Okay.
I'll get you of course, always. Anyway, you were reading from the book.
I was. So, well, but if I'm going to get it with Eric's, if you don't mind the Eric's, then I'm going to get it right here. We've got video and I can take snapshot. So now I've got the picture.
Huzzah!
Picture up there.
Don't forget to go to the Patreon.
Yeah. Well,
isn't that special?
The set, supposedly in an alley back of a nightclub, consists of scaffolding and a row of hanging circular lamps. That was one of the cheapest sets we ever put up in our lives, said George Clemens. It was all built with what we call parallels. Camera platforms 2, 4, 6, and 8 feet high. That was all it was. Scaffolding on each side, planks over it, some lights I had, and black drapes.
Works.
And as Gabriel's walking down the corridor away from him, Joey cries out, "I didn't get your name." The man pauses directly below one of the lamps and turns. "My name? Call me Gabe. Short for Gabriel." And the circle light above his head forms a perfect halo.
Almost like a halo.
Exactly. Precisely. And then we cut back to everyone helping Joey off of the ground after this.
Did we cover what he's asking? What's your name? And
didn't I just say that?
You did. Yeah,
you hear that?
Okay, I'm sorry. Short-term memory. My brain farted. I'm sorry.
No,
okay.
It's fine.
But it's okay. Did you have something to add to that?
No, that was it. I just thought that
Okay.
was a beautiful thing, the way he looked at him and just says, "I'm Gabe," and he gets what he goes off.
Absolutely. It's a great reveal.
And then he comes through at the end, of course.
Yeah, he does. He gets off the ground. He's okay. All this happened in such a short time.
Now, this is where I'm like curious. Is this so? Gabe was his guardian angel, obviously kept him in limbo instead of allowing him to die, giving him the choice of living without his trumpet or his ability to communicate, as he mentioned. Joey, I mean. And the answer is like, and he's like, Gabriel says to him, is like, don't go throwing yourself in front of any more trucks, all right? And but the thing is,
yeah, he does say that.
He does like and that like I do think that this is I think that this is well, you got two choices. You threw yourself in front of a truck, or you can stop spending your money on booze, pay attention to the extension of yourself, which is your trumpet, and you'll go places. Stop distracting. In the words of Shia LaBeouf, just do it.
Fantastic advice.
Self-destructive behavior has to stop in order for him to move forward.
Well, it depends on what you want. If it depends on if your ambition is only to watch cartoons and get high. If that's your jam, do it. I'm not saying it's a good choice.
Yeah. No.
Well, and he's given another strange gift. The truck driver wants to avoid the insurance companies and the doctors. The only problem with that is Joey won't get medical treatment. He might appear okay on the outside, but he might have internal injuries. But we're not worried about that. Because
welcome to the happy ending.
The truck driver gives him $25, like exactly the right amount of money that he needs to get his trumpet back.
Yep.
I wish he had $10 more so he could get drunk.
No, that's the goal for him, not to get drunk.
I know. That's a joke.
I know it's a joke.
No, but I do.
If Jedi didn't say it, I would have said it.
Yeah. But this again is the reward, and also welcome back to 1960 is something that if it were to happen in your neighborhood today, if you were to play a person, it's not lockdowns. It's just a guy playing a trumpet in your neighborhood at nighttime. That's all I know about this. I don't know what time of day it is. Are you making friends? Or are you disturbing the neighborhood?
Well, you figured if he was disturbing people probably be coming up like, "Shut up!"
But stop. This is where he lives. This is ostensibly his backyard, obviously shared by his neighbors.
Yes.
And I guess.
But you think that you can just introduce yourself in the neighborhood by playing your trumpet?
It just depends on how late it is, I suppose. Maybe there's a cutoff time. Like maybe he shouldn't be playing.
Jill,
quiet hours.
Yeah, when is the stop playing trumpets hour?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock? I think you're very forgiving. I think it should be 9.
I don't know. That is a good point, though. I didn't think about that because this is basically him meeting.
No trumpets on Mondays is what I'm asking. We're gonna have a neighborhood conversation.
Not on Mondays, right? But he's playing on the roof, and Nan is watching. She thinks he plays beautifully, and she's new to New York. Yeah, she wants an encore, and he says he'll play whatever she likes for as long as she likes, no matter what the cutoff is on the sound curfew.
Maybe it's so much that I hated the guy from the first episode that it was like, oh no, doing what you love and loving who you are actually does attract a partner.
Yep.
Like you will meet someone if you find value in yourself. And this entire story is about Joey finding value in himself. And so I do like it was odd that these two episodes went back to back, but
it was perfect.
she's like, "Can
because
you play for me?"
It's a good
this is
visual
how true
contrast.
love happens because
This is how it works.
they're not in love yet. She's just curious about his trumpeting. She likes his music. She wants him to show him around. Yeah, she wants him to show her around town because she's new here. And so that's how you start a relationship, is through friendship.
Yes.
Yep.
In the Twilight Zone.
And they live happily ever after.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
That,
That's what
you
it
can
seems
probably
like.
you can write your own ending at this point if you
Yeah,
you
exactly.
fill in the blanks.
Oh, wait, and there's more in the Twilight Zone companion about this scene. It Nan says, "Will you play some more, Joey?" And Joey says, Sure. I'll play some more. I'll play whatever you like, for as long as you like. You know, you may like it here. It's not a bad town." And Nan smiles. "I'm sure it isn't. Maybe." And then very shyly looking away, "Maybe you'll show me some of it, Joey?" And Joey says, "Me?" The smile again that stretches from ear to ear, the face that lights up like a 100-watt bulb. And this is the moment we see a beauty in that face, and a sensitivity and a gentleness. And Mark Scott Zicree says, perhaps the greatest testament to Klugman's ability is that he's able to do exactly what the script says.
You can translate it.
He's got a great, like, and the narration starts off with like a severe or an intense face, and the fact that they set that up, and then he can completely soften in joy and look like a Gerber baby. It's just like, oh, that man's happy, and he makes me happy that he's happy.
Yeah, he's incredible. There's more, and this is from the Twilight Zone: Unlocking the Door to Classic Television by Grams Jr. Martin. And he has a quote here from Klugman. "I have tremendous respect for Rod and his endeavors. When you had a starring role on the Twilight Zone, you had a role with me. For a passage with trumpet, I spent a number of hours learning how to play the trumpet. There was an expert who taught me. There was an expert who taught me how to use my fingers, and it wasn't long before I could mimic a real trumpet player. That was my favorite episode." Anderson recalled to Mark Phillips, "They wrote a special music piece for the show. Neither Jack nor I played the trumpet." Oh, okay. So Anderson wasn't really playing the trumpet. "So CBS went to the trouble of sending their musical director to my house with the cassette of the song and the sheet music. On the sheet, it told me what trumpet valves to press as I played. I worked my butt off learning to play it by pantomime." Wow. Yeah, that's why I questioned whether or not Anderson was really playing it earlier. The man who plays Gabriel. "Later, Jack and I, who are friends, started rehearsing the scene and said, 'Jack, how did you do the trumpet practice?' He said, 'What practice?' I said, 'Klugman, are you telling me that you didn't even practice? You're going to fake it.' He said, 'For Christ's sake, Anderson, who's going to notice if we're hitting the right valves or not? If the audience is so busy looking at our fingers, then we're really in trouble.' I said, 'Jack, he's SOB. I worked my butt off to learn the fingers.' And he laughed. But Jack was right. Fact was, you couldn't tell if I was faking it or if he's faking it. But the point is, that they both.
This is like the first time I watched wrestling.
but the point is that they both worked at their fingering, just in different ways. Anderson was a little more intense, which perfect because he's Gabriel. And there are a couple of in-jokes in this episode. I guess Nan is the nickname for one of Serling's daughters, Anne. And then there's a sign above a scaffolding that I totally missed. I don't know where it is in the episode, that reads, Houghton in reference to Buck Houghton. And so now we have our closing narration. I would like you to read it, please, Scotty. Here it
Sure.
is.
Joey Crown, who makes music and who discovered something about life, that it can rich and rewarding and full of beauty, just like the music he played, if a person would only pause to look and listen. Joey Crown, who got his clue in the Twilight Zone. See, it's so fucking awesome. Sorry about the swear. To get like sort of a Rod Serling being like, and this is a man who made it out of the Twilight Zone
in one piece.
Yeah, Joey Crown took a visit to the Twilight Zone and got out.
In a better position that he did.
And in a better place. Yeah, usually the Twilight Zone is such a monkey's paw, but Joey Crown got out. This is my favorite episode of the Twilight Zone so far.
It was very good. I liked it very much so, more than the first episode, because that guy was just a jerk that drugged a woman when you figure it, when it comes down to it.
Oh,
to get what he wanted, and then when he got what he wanted, he realized it really was just a thing he wanted, and not the long-term haul for it all.
An absolutely beautiful episode. Yes, that made me think of the poll too.
Yes, I want to see it. What is it? Because I want to find out who the weirdos are. Oh, there's 33% of the audience are weirdos. They're all...
Oh, don't call my audience weirdos.
I'm not calling your audience weirdos. I'm calling 33% of your audience weirdos.
Okay. Well, let me see. I'm not there. I'm not on the YouTube side, so let me pull up that side. And we're going to check out the poll and see what the poll's doing.
Although, again, both of these episodes are cautionary tales. And so if you do prefer the chaser, then that doesn't necessarily that you advocate for the
right, exactly. You just like the message of it. You're not.
And also, Layla's very pretty. I think it's pronounced Leela. I kept thinking of the lady from Futurama during the episode.
Oh, Leela with the one eye?
Yeah.
Where weirdos Greek letters says.
Yes.
That's right. I agree. The second episode was more enjoyable, says Sigvaldison. Yeah, everybody loves a happy ending, and you don't expect it with the Twilight Zone.
Hey, Sig. I didn't say hi to you in the chat earlier.
Yes. Oh.
This is Gabriel, the question that I had. Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob Ironside says Gabriel blowing his trumpet means the end and the beginning of a new era.
Watcher, nice to see you. Who's No, I don't.
Gorilla's.
What? Hey,
Gorilla's censored thought says, "What the f did I dream? I worked an extra day this week, son of a bitch."
No, there was an Easter celebration, so we postponed a little bit. Or Jill postponed. I just tagged along.
Yeah. I had a late Easter. I had a late Easter celebration, so I'm here today.
So it took longer for the resurrection?
I'm sorry that my...
Were you holding up Jesus?
It was just that
stay in the cave.
Had to work.
All right.
And so we wanted to spend some time with her, and she enjoyed the grandchildren, so it was worth it. It was worth waiting a day.
Nice.
So, and Jacob Ironside said, "You look up any of the actors on the Twilight Zone, they have been in tons of things." Yes, those rabbit holes can take a while to get through, as we just found out. A few things of note: a passage can be an act. Yeah, words and pictures. It's amazing. Word and Pictures is here to gift us with his knowledge. And what he wants to gift us with is few things of note. A passage can be an act of moving from one place to another. His journey. Gabriel's horn is blown for Judgment Day. His choice between life and death. Wow, that's really deep words. Thank you.
Yeah, it is
And
like
accurate.
Trying to put it towards like possible, like the trumpet sounding.
That does explain the episode title.
Yep.
Thank you. Beautiful. Oh, thank you, DJ Knight. I'm glad you're here.
Hey, DJ Knight.
He has more. He has more. Can you read this one, Scotty?
Gabriel's horn, also known as a Torricelli's trumpet. Did I say that right? A geometric figure that has infinite surface area but finite volume. I love that kind of stuff. Philosophical concepts of a paradox, the interplay and contrast between thought-provoking perceptions of bleakness, value, friendships, addiction, beauty of life, and hope. That is, yeah. I would like to subscribe to your Letterboxd account because that was a perfect. That was a, yeah. And
that does encapsulate the themes of the episode. Very good.
That is
very does.
That is what you put on the back of the VHS. Yeah.
We can trust FKHC for a good joke. Gabriel's horn sounds dirty.
Dirty.
Don't blow it all.
Spit release, I'm telling you.
Who are the people in your neighborhood? Says Booger.
They're the ones that you meet when you walk down the street.
Walking down, get out of my head. That song's going to be there all day now.
I think that was his intention. Don't blow your own horn in front of the neighbors, dear.
That's how Prince died.
2005. Wasn't his? Well, no, I can't stop.
No, it isn't. It isn't how it. No, it's not how it happened.
It's not. I was gonna say. Remember what happened last time you did that?
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy got fired.
Ooh, the ref takes a point away.
Oh, come on, man. No, check your local listings. Nothing has happened. All that you
I know. It was just a conjecture again. More conjecture.
Yeah.
I looked into it.
Yeah, it's just people, playing around with the politics of the situation and having fun with the story. The stories that are the drama of the situation is sometimes more interesting than the actual movies and products they put out. So
I cheer for success. I don't cheer for failure.
The production information of current movies is more fun than the movies. So that explains why a lot of people have really successful channels.
Yeah, but she looks great in a bikini.
Oh, man, you're really doing it to me today, Scotty. Oh, I'm going to
I don't know why you won't accept that I like unique women.
Aggravate me, you will.
Yeah, well, I've talked to puppets before.
They've made my poor Yoda at the end of Acolyte evil, and that is the end for me.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, they did? I had no idea.
Oh, if you watch that crap, you'll see.
I didn't watch it.
That's not
That's
nice.
why I'm calmer.
Save yourself. Your eyes will melt like when they looked at the Ark of the Covenant, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's what we.
Oh wow, dude! Do you have a defibrillator?
Oh, she irks me, which she's
calm
done
down.
Star Wars.
Calm. Enhance your calm.
Wow.
It's not that big a deal.
I know it's not, but it was my
just
well, actually, it is.
It
is kind of
going to go all.
It's a big deal to a purist like me. I am a Star Wars purist. I'm sorry.
I'm 6 episodes and out, but and I'm glad because I stopped being as angry as that after I realized that I was 6 episodes and out.
Yeah, but if
No.
you just let them do what they want, then
Then they'll throw
without
themselves
any
off of
kind of.
bridges. They're very angry. Did you hear that? That was a physical reaction.
I'm not gonna I'm not that angry. I'm just saying they took something
Well,
and
you
they
sounded really.
I can't use the words that I'd like to use what they've done to it.
Inability to
that
communicate
man
is a sign of
marvel.
intense rage.
No, it's not rage, it's passion for something that I love very much. And sometimes my passion can be mistaken for rage, but it's
so what it well, this is something that I would love to talk about Star Wars on your channel.
Well, we will get there on my side. I've already started putting up some,
And I think it's
content.
important if you love something and it's being hurt by people who are not respecting it, who are in charge of it,
murdered.
and they're not doing the right thing, then I don't think it's a problem to point it out.
It's been murdered.
Yes, I agree with that argument, Jill.
Rian Johnson should never be allowed near another Star Wars. That guy doesn't have a clue. The first thing, yeah. I could go on a rant. We got to talk about this another time because I'm totally taking us away from where we're at.
You are, but it's okay. But it's okay because we did get through both the episodes first. Jacob Ironside in the chat says the end of drunkenness and the beginning of him meeting this woman. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yes.
And of course he's got a long road to recovery, but this is the Twilight Zone. We only have 28 minutes. FKHC 2005 says he doesn't need to play the devil's clarinet anymore. It looks like, yeah, he does. What? He needs to play the trumpet, devil's clarinet.
I thought
I've never heard
the
it called.
I thought
What's the devil's
playing
clarinet?
the devil's clarinet was smoking a joint.
Well, I've never heard of that euphemism before. Let me see. Devil's
I've
clarinet.
never heard of this euphemism ever. I just went to the worst popular or
oh my god, I said it 2 times. Okay, never mind. Pretend I didn't say that. He doesn't need to play. Oh yeah, okay. Looks to me I failed English in my last post. Okay. This is Greek letter Larson's favorite joke of the evening it's not the evening, it's the middle of the afternoon. Okay, show's over, folks. Tune in next week for the next episode of the Twilight Zone about Bill's saxophone and what and a white stain on a blue dress. Stay tuned. Actually, if you do want to hear more of that, then yeah, Friday Night Frolics is your jam on Fridays, and you might hear Bill Clinton show up on that show. A parody of him anyway.
Oh no. You're serious?
Yeah, he does a parody of Bill Clinton.
He does an impression of Bill Clinton in 2025.
Have sexual relations.
Yeah, because it's funny.
Are you guys Bill or that Dunham fan, the guy with the puppets?
Oh, I love Jeff
he's
Dunham.
He's got so many.
Yeah, you guys like Jeff Dunham. Okay, that explains our
difference. I've never seen Jeff Dunham. I don't know, but he's got lots of voices. Anyway, let's do a preview for next week's story. Next week, you'll meet the occupant of this desk. You don't get to see the desk, whose name is James B.W. Beavis, a warm and winning 20th century oddball about 1.5 miles from the norm. He likes things like zither music, little kids, and stuff like this. And he motions to a stuffed squirrel he's holding. Orson Bean stars next week on The Twilight Zone as Mr. Beavis. And Henry Jones plays his guardian angel. He's this kind of oddball.
Don't tease me that Indiana Jones is going to be in next week's episode.
And then...
is it Sean Connery?
It's Orson Bean.
Playing Henry Jones.
No, playing Mr. Beavis. Henry Jones plays his guardian angel.
Henry Jones
I don't know
is
who
the
plays
name of
Henry
Sean
Jones.
Connery in Indiana Jones. And Indiana Jones is Henry Jones Jr. So I'm just going to be thinking about Indiana Jones all next week.
It might just be a coincidence there.
No, it is a coincidence. I don't think anybody ripped off this episode of The Twilight Zone, but
yeah, so
it's going to be an interesting, distracting time.
Yeah, and I allow for distractions on my show. And so this will be fun. Another preview for next week's story. Next week, you'll see our friends here along with Anne Francis and Elizabeth Allen in one of the strangest stories we've yet presented on the Twilight Zone. It's
Ooh.
called The After Hours.
Is that the Anne Francis from Forbidden Planet?
Forbidden Planet?
Yes.
Oh
And
my!
probably.
Oh, I'm going to wear less for that episode.
I don't think she's going swimming. So
I will.
No.
I'll be wet. I'll tell you that
You
much.
can be Leslie Nielsen.
I will. And don't call me Shirley.
It's called After Hours and concerns the shadowy time when normal people go back to their homes. And concurrently, what happens to those who are perhaps not quite so normal, or perhaps not quite so human? Intriguing. I think you'll find it so next week. On the Twilight Zone.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, we can say it together. It's a chorus.
Ray!
Fingering practice, blowing of horns. This is quite a naughty episode, says
No, it's your
Booker.
mind. It's your mind that's naughty. That's interpretation. It's
No, but I think
there.
that, again, I think that these are so rich with allegory. I think that these are risque episodes with both of them. Like one is about a guy who covets a woman so much that he is willing to pay $1 to have her undying affection and gets bored of the physical realities of that affection and then is like, okay, so how do I stop this? And the answer is you don't. This is what you wanted. You're welcome. You were even given an option to out and you said no. Which, call it justice, call it karma, call it fate. But he was meant to be with that woman, no matter the absolutely unscrupulous ways in which he seduced her, which were chemically involved or magically involved. Let's not forget the guy sold potions. So, first episode, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to get it. Second episode is, well, I tried, I suck, I give up. And someone says, you don't suck that bad. Come on, give it another go.
Yeah, and don't waste your talent. Share your talent with others. There's value in it. There's value in you.
And he learned the value in the end when that woman, what's her name again? Oh my God, help me.
No, but the value was when he was playing the horn by himself and the attraction.
Exactly. It naturally happened. And,
Yeah.
she wanted
Don't
to
you always say, all I need is an audience of one?
I didn't say that. William Shatner said that in the Academy Award-winning film Free Enterprise. Academy Award not guaranteed.
And so the poll says, which episode do you like better? The Chaser gets 31%, and A Passage for Trumpet gets 69%. So we're going to end the poll there.
Well, but also, come on. Layla was pretty. And also, Mr. Damon Bach, he was rad. It's just a matter of this story. What connects with me emotionally and intellectually more? And with the performances.
There's a big contrast in them both.
Yeah, like I like the second one better. I thought it was A Wonderful Life, but it didn't need Christmas. Oddly enough, I thought about sending a Christmas song to someone today. And I think it's because I watched this episode last night. Is because it reminds me of It's a Wonderful Life so much.
It's got a lot of intonations of that.
Oh, and this is from earlier when you were calling everybody weirdos for choosing the Chaser.
Yes.
Who are you calling a weirdo? Weirdo.
The people who,
well.
but that's my apology now. I'm trying to apologize now.
Booger says Katie Seagal makes Cyclops chicks hot.
True.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. I
I
also
don't think I've never seen a, aside from Leela, I've never seen a hot Cyclops.
Well, I think it's just because the eye is made so much bigger that it's the full face. Sometimes Cyclops have smaller eye, and that's creepier.
They always try and make it like, what was it in the Fallout show? They tried to make Dr. Spichemin a Cyclop, and it was like it didn't work.
It was creepy.
It didn't work.
It didn't look right. But also, he's a scientific experiment gone wrong. So
I thought it was radiation. But
was it radiation? Oh,
I thought so.
Well, it's still okay. Yes, fair enough. I thought that there was some kind of. I guess maybe that was me projecting. I wanted it to be science gone wrong because it reminded me of all those places you go into where they say, "Oh, we were just testing this drug on these children in the school." And this is Fallout 4 story that I just thought of randomly. It was the one where you get hallucinogens and everything. I don't know. I don't remember the story exactly, but it's kind of crazy. Obviously,
well, that's because of the
now that I say it out loud.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was a good dungeon, and so I wanted some of that. I wanted some of that in the show. Some of the evilness of Voltech.
Voltech is presented as being rather evil in the television show.
Yeah. Good, because that's correct. I had to work on Easter. Oh, sorry to hear that, Booger. That's
so
terrible.
did Jesus. He had to push that rock.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. He doesn't push the rock. Someone else opens the rock.
But he's already gone by then, isn't he?
Right. So that's why everyone's like, where did he go? So no, Jesus didn't have to push the rock.
Watcher X says, is Scotty looking for a specific She-Hulk or will any figure satisfy?
Watcher X, any figure at this point.
At this point, yeah. At this point, he just wants a green lady.
I want it to rain She-Hulks. I want a She-Hulk army. I don't care where they come from. 3.5-inch action figure, in-action figure. If you get like a Marvel Legends, if you get me a Hot Toys, oh my stars. I don't even know what I would do. But
I'll send you the green lady from Lost in Space, Scotty, with the bowl on her head.
Oh, but I don't know if I'm gonna. No, I don't want to throw things away. Don't send me garbage. I'm looking for She-Hulks.
Those figures are expensive. I couldn't afford one of them if I wanted one.
That's fine. Don't. If you can't afford
it. I was being facetious.
Oh, no, but I like her. She's kind of funny.
Figure.
Yeah, she is funny.
Can I see her?
I don't have a figure.
You would like her if you saw her.
Well, no, a picture of her. I'm not asking. Do you have her tied up in your basement?
No, I have pictures of her in my files for my episodes.
I have pictures of her on my computer also, and she's basically this alien who can live in outer space.
Does everyone have a file folder filled with pictures of these green people?
No, just one character.
I have
from
a
that
few.
episode.
I have Vila also.
I do have and I say that incredulously. That's the word. And but I have folders of green people.
Well, speaking of Green
Lantern,
people,
She-Hulk, Tendi from Lower Decks, the Green Hornet. A lot of greens.
Yeah.
Gotta organize it.
Booger 414, speaking of green people, Yoda, evil, he will never be. Light side, follow it, always he will. So
that's the way he's bitten writ.
I think that's one of the things that I appreciate. Like I've seen fan stuff about Yoda being like, what if Yoda was Sith? And it's just like, I'm glad they haven't done that yet. I hope they don't do that.
Well, the Acolyte pretty much is painted every Jedi is garbage, bad Jedi, bad. You know,
that's what they did to Doctor Who too.
They totally flipped it.
Well, and that's what they do to
I'm gonna
Starfleet.
boil again, Scotty, because
it's
it's
so
a
much
bait
different.
and switch. It's a bait
No, it
and
isn't.
So much
flip.
different.
They've destroyed the mean. They don't. The
Okay,
people that are making Star Wars do not know Star Wars today. They don't get the story.
Yeah,
it's
they
about
do.
a political
Yeah, and it's the same.
statement.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
it always
it's the
has
same
been.
thing with Doctor Who. It's the same thing with Star Trek. They've all in
Killed
Star
it.
Trek they've made the Federation and Starfleet evil. They don't even understand the difference between the two. And Doctor Who, from what I understand, they've also made all the Time Lords effectively evil. And so everything is just topsy-turvy
It's
times.
a Greek
No,
word.
I
But
don't
we
think it's
find
topsy-turvy.
It's
the
factored.
good we find the goodness in hanging out with each other and talking about when
Yeah.
things were good, and that's what I want to try to
Member
understand is
berries.
what's so great about these Twilight Zone episodes that we're watching that's so wonderful about them, and where did we lose the plot?
And the writing is beautiful. That's what I'm saying. You can
is.
pick out
Well-
informations. You can find politics if you're really looking for it in anything.
Yeah.
You can find it and pull it and talk
There's
about
never-
it. But if you just
There's
leave it
never
alone.
any politics in wars.
Wars.
Yeah,
Wars
Oh,
are,
no,
never
he's being
politics in
sarcastic.
wars.
He's being sarcastic.
Okay.
And we're not talking about the politics between the intergalactic
Why would
nations.
we talk about the politics in the
That's
war?
fine. That's fine. They're not talking about that. They're Jedi
Wars
Masters
makes-
talking about turning to your audience and saying, you're a terrible person, and this is why you're
I've had
terrible,
that
and you're
happen
always
to
going to
me.
be terrible.
Yes, thank you, Jill. Because
And
I think I'm being misconstrued.
and it's time for you to shut up and listen. This is what a lot of modern stuff.
They're
from
talking
Dr.
at
Who's
us,
Yes.
Star Wars.
not telling us a
Yes.
story no more.
Modern,
Mhm.
and I'm only going to say it once, and then I'm going to excuse myself for a moment and come back for the goodbyes. But modern criticism does the exact same thing. They adopted the philosophy of, oh, the people who are making the art are telling us that we hate them or that they hate us. Well, we'll just turn that around, and it turns into a big game of boring tennis, being like, I hate you, you hate me. I hate you, you hate me. Kathleen Kennedy. Like, it all just turns into boring when I want to talk about the art. But people want to talk about, do you have any idea how much the art hates you? And I was like,
Well, that's the problem.
There is no more art.
That's the problem
It
of
did
it.
not hate me.
The
So anyway,
art
I'm going to go
Kind
and
of
slow
does.
removed.
Sometimes
down.
it does.
See you in a
Sometimes it
moment.
does. See you soon. Okay, and I'm just talking to the chat here. This is just what's happened naturally here. Orson Bean says we're not going to solve any of the problems going on in modern storytelling, but we can learn what a good story is and see and talk about the great stories that exist. And you know exactly where the climaxes are in the Twilight Zone, because it's where the twist is. It's something beautiful. It's a song. All of the Twilight Zone episodes are songs in a marvelous album where each one, I think, even feeds into the next one. That's why these two episodes paired so well. I don't think it was an accident.
No, they were great. It was like to give you a counterpoint, and the two different, like one guy had to manipulate and pay to get someone. Another guy just needed to find himself again, more or less, by going through what he went through. That's how I interpret it. And Sig, I read something that you put in the chat. The Empire did nothing wrong. They brought order to the galaxy. The first order was just a punk wannabe. The Empire destroyed and killed and hunted down all the Jedi. I don't find that the Empire did. The Empire was evil in the original Star Wars, the Sith and all that. So the Empire didn't really bring order to the galaxy because there was a rebellion and they overthrew the evil in the end. You know, when Anakin was the chosen one, and then they decided to make Rey, in the words of Doomcock, the bestest ever. You know, they go down that road. But anyway, I digress again.
You do, but you do it with passion, so I don't mind. Booger414 says, I'm sure that if my mind were dirty, Scotty would let me know tactfully. And he doesn't suck, he blows. Oh my god, FKHC 2005. You're full of the jokes today.
Mega Maid is going from blow to suck. From Spaceball, suck to blow.
That must be it. I would say the guy in the Trumpet episode escaped. Yeah, that is rare to escape the Twilight Zone. What a wonderful story that I enjoyed.
He
immensely.
got out in a better place that he was when he went in.
I'm glad that Scotty found a favorite episode. That's lovely. Dr. Cyclops is a good movie, but he has 2 eyes. Oh, that's weird. Does he at least have a unibrow? Dr. Cyclops? I've never seen Dr. Cyclops. Gavin, you want to tell me about it? Old Man Bird says, hello to DJ Knight. We're supposed to be changing our celebrity crush once a week, not like Matt G. Oh, yeah, Matt G. Well, but he's a Swiftie, so how are you going to change him? You can't. You can't change him.
Swiftie? What do you mean, Swiftie?
He's, I have a friend named Matt G. If he shows up, he will be called Swift -1. Currently, he changes his name on occasion, but yeah, he loves Taylor Swift. Hey, it's a well. You see, I don't get after.
Nothing against Scotty. Him. I just
right. I don't get after Scotty for loving She-Hulk or Matt G for loving Taylor Swift.
I'm just teasing him about the She-Hulk thing because of when she gave what's the Daredevil the booty call and She-Hulk episode. I did watch that. Me and my wife did watch She-Hulk. Begrudgingly, after the 3rd episode, I was like ready to say no more, but we continued.
Did you finish it?
Yeah, we did. It was painful. It was very painful.
Well, something about it drew it to you.
No, my wife and me started it, and I'm a completionist, so it's an OCD thing. If I start something, I got to finish it.
Gotcha. Yeah, maybe something will happen here, but then I guess at least if you watch it, you get to be part of the conversation a little more closely. The Comic Relief Crusader says, Scotty wants the sexiest She-Hulk one. Yeah, he does, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be coming out, so he'll take what he can get at this point. And I mean, it was released, but I guess production on it stopped at some point because of the legal issues with Tatiana.
Yeah, that's not going to be that's dead as a doornail now. Anything future of that, they need to. I don't know. That's a discussion for another day. Like I said, since we're doing
all of this is a discussion for another day.
For another day.
I want to know the chat. I want to let the chat know that I appreciate them being here, spending time with us today. And you did talk to Sigvaldison about his chat here, so good work on that one. And Old Man Bird says there is no art. There is the message.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. And Words and Pictures says, Jill, I very much like your summation of a passage for Trumpet. There's value in you, lovely sentiment and supportive thought. And yes, and well, that's because I have the support of Scotty R37, whom I gathered that summation from. If you put it all together, everything that we said about this episode, I drew that from him. FKHC 2005 says, thank you. I'm here all week. Don't forget to tip your waitress and try the meatloaf. Yeah, you're doing great. Good comedian work today. FKHC. Dr. Cyclops is a 1940 sci-fi movie about an evil scientist with the shrink ray. Well worth a watch. Oh, that's fun. Wow. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, let me type this down. Dr. Cyclops. He sold me. I think
Scotty, you back?
I want to see this. I might want to see this movie. Hello and welcome to Snortapoopus. Q Burr, you're here just in time for the ending. And DJ Knight has said, so we're all saying hello to Snorty, but DJ Knight is extra kind, sending a fishy to Snorty Pooba's Q Burr. Booger414 says, even though I kind of blew off packing for a trip to listen to this, now I have to rush because I leave in about an hour. Oh no! Oh, I'm so sorry, Booger. I didn't mean to make you late. FKHC says, Shrink Ray sounds like an actor's name. Oh, well. Or
With
an
my
Olympic. Or an
breezeway,
Olympic.
I will
I've been
stop
interrupted.
the world.
Oh, I've been interrupted by Dr. Horrible, so I guess it's not so bad.
It's not so bad
It
when
also
it's Dr.
sounds
Horrible.
it
a
might
club
be
soda.
horrible.
But you can sing along in the blog.
Then yeah, Dr. Horrible sing-along blog. Here, where one of the villains is a horse. It's fun.
Mad
Fun.
Horse.
I want to call it a movie, but it was vignettes that all got put together and it was like a movie.
That'd be a fun short lead.
Beautiful. Oh, I would love to talk about that movie.
See,
But
and
I
I'm
need
sorry,
it.
Franco Walker.
Put
I
some of the
love Dr.
songs.
Horrible's sing-along blog more than I love Little Shop of Horrors.
Well, there you go. We've got to cover it at some point. And Sort of Poopus Cuber finally finds the fishy. A horse, of course. Yeah.
What a wonderful.
And what a wonderful live stream. I think this was good. And I think we're ready to wrap it up. But first, I need to put some links in the chat. Let's put Scotty's link in the chat. And then we have Jedi Mastered. And then we wait for the bot to do this.
Okay,
so
what this?
And then we do this. And then tell us, we're at the point where it's time to plug. Tell us all the stuff that you want to plug.
Well, I just want, okay, so just so everyone knows, usually tonight is Hump Day Happy Hour, but tonight is not Hump Day Happy Hour because we're celebrating 9 years of Cinema Gulp tomorrow night. And we're going to be doing a battle of the action producers. It's going to be Joel Silver versus what's the other guy's name? Oh, he produced Jerry Bruckheimer. So it's going to be Joel Silver versus Jerry Bruckheimer, and we're going to be deciding the movies. And that is going to be Ben from Cinema Gulp, John from Cinema Gulp, Elvirus will be there, Jill will be there, I believe Sly Snide, Catherine from the Phantasmagorium is going to be there. It is going to be a party tomorrow night. So that is why there is no Hump Day Happy Hour tonight. But also, the Phantasmagorium, we've been covering the Mission Impossible movies, and we can't do it this week because we usually do it on Thursdays, but we're busy. We're going to a party. So we're going to be all over. So anyway, Mission Impossible Fallout is where we're at in the series. That'll be next Thursday. Don't worry about that. Then also, I'm usually on Jill's Friday streams, her Plomeek Tea Times, but I'm not going to be on that because I have other stuff to do. And so, yeah, no, like for the next week, basically Cinema Gulp, if you want to hang out with me. And aside from that, you pretty much get a week off. It's great. Good for you.
Well, and one thing that you're missing about Cinema Gulp's party is that we're celebrating 9 years, but we're also celebrating 900 subscribers. It's a 900 subscriber celebration also.
You're right. See? Thank you.
You're welcome. And so, also, I want to thank you for being here, Scotty. And also, I want to thank Jedi Master 2022 for being here.
Alrighty,
also.
guys. You know, I just broke 61 subscribers. I know
Hooray.
It's a slow crawl, but I'm making progress. First live stream is going to be this Monday. I am going to go for it, and we will start at 8:15 if that works for you, Jill. You said you have some folks you could bring along to join the panel.
Well, I can invite them if
them, and if they want to come.
If they want to come, they may not come, but no matter what, I'll be there. 8:15. What time zone?
Eastern Standard Time. Is that good? You said
okay. Yeah, that's fine.
After 8:00, usually you said. I can start at 8 if need be, and because that's my wrestling night too. So I will get that. It will be they won't go longer than an hour and a half. I'm gonna we'll go through the episodes, and like I said, there'll be different things that I'm doing also besides just Lost in Space, folks. I don't want to think that everybody's locked into Lost in Space on my channel. We will be going over old classic Star Wars, the Star Wars, old Batmans, anything that has to do with science fiction. There'll be a little bit of pop culture stuff in there involved. The old Planet of the Apes. I'm going to do a Planet of the Apes week. I'm going to do a Universal Studio Monster Week around Halloween. So there's things coming, videos coming, and live streams. Well, if you come by, you like what you see, like and subscribe to my channel and leave comments on any of the videos. Anything that you might want me to put up a post or share with you, I've got gazillions of old movies and clips, and I'd be more than happy to share what my love and passion for classic sci-fi, and of course Lost in Space, which is my main passion. And of all the shows in my life for TV back in the day was Lost in Space, Dark Shadows, Time Tunnel, Land of the Giants, and all those classics. Thank you. And hope to see you there.
Yeah.
Good.
Great. Fantastic. And we got 2 more subscribers for you. Apparently DJ Knight and Gavin Blackburn subscribed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's see what that's at. I want to see.
Thank you, Gavin.
Oh, we're at 62. We got at least 1 more subscriber here.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. Awesome. Thank you, guys. And just thanks, everyone, for being amazing, insightful in the panel and the chat, being funny with the FKHC and everyone. The jokes were appreciated. The knowledge was appreciated. Everyone who shared of themselves in the chat. And also people lurking, people on the replay. Thank you also. If you just enjoy listening, that is phenomenal to me.
You know what? I feel badly because I just subscribed. Jedi Master.
Old man bird. That is my dad's flag from the Korean War. I'll someday have one, hopefully a long time from now, from my military service. That's not my retirement flag. That was my dad's burial flag. Old man bird.
Oh, yes. And you see it right in the corner there.
Oh, the little flag leaning on my American flag. That's just a patch, one of my flags.
You can see it better if I take down the corner.
My old units. I have a lot of my old unit patches and unit crests and stuff like that from where I
feel guilty. I think you should get the Captain America shield.
Well,
not Captain Falcon shield.
And I won't list everybody.
Same shield. Same shield.
I want to thank Old Man Bird, the Comic Relief Crusader, DJ Knight, Gavin Blackburn. Who else was here today? Booger 414, wonderful people here. FKHC 2005. Snorta Poopus Cuber.
Poopus.
The Comic Relief Crusader. Booger 414. Let's see.
Oh, the
Words and Pictures. Zig Valdison. Canadian Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spidey was here.
He was here. Let's see who else.
No,
is here.
delightful to
Let's
see
scroll up just
everyone.
a little
Thank
bit.
you so
Jacob
much.
Ironside. Jacob Ironside.
Jacob
Yes.
Ironside. Yeah. Did you already
Greek
say
letters?
Greek letters? I feel like
I don't know. You know what? If I say things repetitively, it makes it sound like there are more people. So
No, I know.
Repeat your name every once in a while.
if my yeah, no, I always sound
Lemon pie.
repetitive.
But it's okay. And of course, Jedi Master Gorilla Censored Thoughts. If I'm not exactly on schedule, his entire life is disturbed.
Good. Enjoy the chaos. Taste the rainbow. That was a Skittles reference.
Wes Cagle.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What's up with Wes Cagle? He's cool.
He had he's great, but I think I missed this chat earlier when we were talking about a passage.
Gavin.
A passage for Trumpet. Yeah. And that's
no,
a good
but
message.
I agree. Like, I'm flippant with it. I'm a person who has been at a low point, and I was lucky enough to realize that it was a bad call, Ripley. But if you are in a position where you're going to try something so drastic, there is a possibility that you'll succeed. And that's the thing that really helped me, and it was terrible, is when I started to see the mess that I was making. I was like, so you're saying I can't clean this mess up?
Yeah.
And then that's when I had to stop. And that's the thing.
Well,
don't rob yourself of the dignity of passing on. Be remembered positively. Don't do it on purpose, because no one likes somebody who wants to get off a roller coaster halfway through. You can't say pull over.
Life is a roller coaster. It has its ups and downs, and I'm here for the ride. I like roller coasters very much.
Well, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life.
I just live every day to try to live each day to its fullest, and if I'm having a bad day, I try not to affect people with my bad day. Sometimes it does, but I take everything in a positive step forward in my life. With meeting new people, like meeting y'all on YouTube has been great for me, and it's given me something to do as I get older. I've never realized that there's all this cool stuff to talk about that I love, and people used to look at me saying, "I write my sisters or anybody." I really don't care about this stuff. Your sci-fi stuff, you're lost in space. I'm tired of hearing it. And now I found a forum where it's appreciated, and that's why I like this so much. Is that there's a new place to be with people, like-minded people that like to share these things and these shows and their passion that makes it who you are. These are parts of our childhood and our lives, and I believe it helps make us up who we are as people.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank you all for this time in the Twilight Zone, and I hope to see you again next Tuesday. The show will be
imagination.
Today is Wednesday, of course. So look forward to us on Friday. Like Scotty said, he won't be there, but I will be there, and we're going to talk about a UFO episode and then some news and stuff, whatever I want to talk about. We're just going to have
probably Kathleen Kennedy.
No, I'm probably not going to talk about Kathleen Kennedy. I'll leave that to people who are more knowledgeable on the matter. If I talk about anybody, it's about Kurtzman, because Star Trek is my jam. And so that is
Kurtzman.
Friday. I don't know. No, usually I like to talk about as positive of things as possible, but then I go and look at the new Star Trek toys that are out, and it's all filth, and I'm like, oh man, I wanted to be positive. I was trying here.
Here's one thing that I hope that you do discuss. All right. The smiley face, called the triple conjunction, will appear in the sky on April 25th.
Oh, so some astronomy news. There's a smiley face?
Yes. Yeah, there's going to be a smiley face on the 25th. So that's Friday, right?
Oh. Okay, well, we'll look more into that on Friday. Thank you so much, Scotty. That's definitely in my wheelhouse. I love to talk about astronomy news, space news, anything happening with SpaceX or NASA or the cosmos itself.
We got a whole bunch of stuff happening around here. Down Space
What,
Coast.
the Milky Way?
No, I'm just saying where I live. I live 9/10 of the mile from the lagoon.
You live in the Milky Way.
Yeah, we're in the Milky Way.
I'm sorry,
now.
I'm being a jerk.
Well, that's okay.
I'm having fun.
You're just
We are
being
having fun
Scotty.
today.
You're just being Scotty. You're fine.
So so I hope I see you guys next time. I guess what else? Yeah, next Tuesday we're gonna go back to Tuesdays. Tuesdays is the normal time. Wednesday is just an anomaly. Friday, and at some point we're gonna play some more Fallout. I still got to get that water chip, but I know where I'm going, and I have a hammer. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Later. Live long
Later,
and prosper
folks.
your bum out.
Learn all that is learnable.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
All right, move along. Done. Stop it. Get off of the things. Go outside. Get some food. It's like, it's a time of day where you live. Go do something. Shut up, Snoopy. I don't care. You smoke too much. Let's go. Let's go adventure. Let's go explore.
See you around the galaxy.